Live from Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater Township, Baycats TV presents the Intercounty Baseball League. Tonight, it's the Guelph Royals back in town for the second time in less than a week to take on the defending IBL champion Barrie Baycats. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ben Davy, along with Julius Hern. Maddie Gale joins us shortly. It's amazing how fast a season can turn around for a ball club. The Baycats struggling out of the gate here in 2025, at one point as low as 8th place in the standings. They've won 6 in a row since, 6 wins in their last 8 days, and they're going for their 7th straight win here tonight.
Yeah, they beat the Guelph Royals Thursday night as part of that 6-game streak. Last night, it was a very close one. Alex Wickett ends up being the hero in extra innings. The Baycats coming back from 3 runs down pretty late. It's hard to take a guy like that out of the lineup. He's on a 6-game hit streak since he was called up. The guy hitting .414, he's hitting in the 9th spot again today. The team's really leaning on him to be the guy to turn around the order like Francisco Hernandez was before him.
The Guelph Royals have been a streaky team as of late as well. They had won 5 in a row prior to a 4-game losing skid, but give them full marks for ending that skid in dramatic fashion like they did with a big win yesterday.
Yeah, 10-1 over the Hamilton Cardinals. That's a big win. The Hamilton Cardinals themselves kind of on a slide, but a good timing for the Guelph Royals to kind of get out of their own slump. Edgar Garcia is going to take the mound today, but he's also going to hit for himself, so that's kind of proving how big he's been to this ball club. Now kind of coming in as a starter after a few relief appearances earlier in the year. He's a big part of this team for Dina Rommel.
Let's get the game started with the starting lineups tonight. Here's our public address announcer, Rob Daniels.
Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, welcome to Athletic Kulture Stadium for season number 24 of Barrie Baycats Baseball. Tonight's Intercounty Baseball League game, presented by Rock 95, features the visiting Guelph Royals and your Barrie Baycats. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First for the Guelph Royals, managed by acting manager Donnie Fell. Batting first and playing shortstop, number 5, Brando LaRue. Batting second at second base, number 23, Jordan Gallo. Batting third, the center fielder, number 11, Andy Leader. Batting fourth at first base, number 4, Garrett Takamatsu. Batting fifth in right field, number 28, Ethan Hammond. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 13, Anderson Fenwick. Batting seventh at third base, number 7, Carson Burns. Batting eighth, the pitcher, number 22, Edgar Garcia. And batting ninth in left field, number 50, Ashton Patterson. On the mound tonight for the Royals, number 22, Edgar Garcia. And now, the starting lineup for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Matlow. Batting first, playing center field, number 95, Noel McGarry Doyle. Batting second, the shortstop, number 11, Brandon Hernandez. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 43, Clayton Keys. Batting fourth at first base, number 20, Nolan Macabroda. Batting fifth in left field, number 6, Tristan Clark. Batting sixth in right field, number 4, Willie Garcia. Batting seventh at third base, number 28, Noah Hull. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 36, Joshrin Magne. And batting ninth at second base, number 81, Alex Wickett. On the mound tonight for your Baycats, number 39, Cesar Rosado. Your umpires for tonight's contest. Calling the balls and strikes, we have Ryan Jackson. Handling first base, Jared Merkley. And at third base is Don Michelle. Fans, at this time, we ask you to please rise. If you are able to, kindly remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. All right, fans, it's time for tonight's ceremonial first pitch. Fans, Barrie's Rock Station, Rock 95, is a proud sponsor of the Barrie Baycats. And I'd like to introduce to you Craig Ross from the Rock 95 morning crew. He is going to be throwing out tonight's ceremonial first pitch. And by the way, you can catch Craig along with his co-hosts weekday mornings, Brian and MJ, and that's from 5:30 to 10 on Rock 95. Craig Ross, it's your pitch.
Great job, Craig. We love our friends from Rock 95, and it'll be interesting to see whether he stays till the end of the ball game because he's got that 5:30 a.m. morning show.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. If we're going extra innings, he may not stick around for the end of it.
That's a tight turnaround for my boy Craig.
I remember my days of doing morning radio, and 4:30 a.m. wake-ups come very early, especially on Monday. So it's Sunday Night Baseball. Thank you so much for joining us, wherever you may be tuning in from. Ben Davy with Julius Hern and Matty Gale as the Baycats look to end this weekend by extending their win streak to 7 games, and they'll take on the Guelph Royals and Dino Ramel, who is absent tonight as manager Donnie Fell in his absence. Here's the lineup brought to you by Sports Medicine, the official clinic of the Barrie Baycats. Brando LaRue leading off at shortstop. Jordan Gallo is the second baseman batting second. Andy Leader, center fielder, bats third. Cleanup man tonight, Garrett Takamatsu, he's at first. Ethan Hammond in right field batting fifth. It's Anderson Fenwick catching tonight and hitting sixth. Former Baycat Carson Burns hits seventh at third. Edgar Garcia pitching and hitting as well. As we mentioned, he's got the number 8 spot in the lineup ahead of number 9 hitter and left fielder Ashton Patterson.
On the mound for the Barrie Baycats, it's Cesar Rosado. He's had a bit of a resurgence of late. It's a bit of a slow start for him during the season. The game plan's for him to go only a couple innings today. Ethan Morris should be the one that comes in after him. Rosado really not 100% after a long start on Tuesday night in London. His season statistics coming in tonight, a 3.86 ERA, 3-2 record through 7 appearances, 5 of those starts, 25 2/3 innings, a strikeout to walk ratio of 25-16, which is much improved compared to this time last year.
Home plate umpire is Ryan Jackson. He likes to call strikes. Jared Merkley at first. Don Michelle handling duties at third. As Rosado looks in for the sign and deals the first pitch of the ball game. It's a high fastball. We're underway at 7:09 on an overcast and very, very humid day. Still a heat warning in effect for Barrie and most of Simcoe County. Wind is blowing out to left field. That should be interesting. Different direction from usual here at this ballpark, and officially we're at 26 degrees, 35 with the Humidex.
Well, keep in mind also that with all this humidity, balls will be flying out of the yard. Batting practice was a home run derby, to say the least.
2 balls, no strikes to LaRue. Rosado deals, and he catches the outside corner for a strike. Yeah, for some reason, balls can really travel a long way in high humidity. And that's always kind of caught me by surprise a little bit, because you hear about the thin air in Colorado and how balls jump out of that park as well. But sometimes the ball can be really lively in muggy weather also.
Well, I know from my physics classes in high school that
here we go.
The speed of light and sound actually is faster in warmer weather than it is colder weather.
Julius blowing the dust off the science textbook for that one.
Woo!
3-1 from Rosado. Here it comes. Just missed. First leadoff walk for the Royals here on the top of the first inning.
Let's give you the defense for the Barrie Baycats behind Cesar Rosado in the outfield from left to right. Same starting 3 as yesterday. Tristan Clark, Noel McGarry Doyle, Willie Garcia. On the infield, it's Noah Hall at third, Brandon Hernandez at short, Alex Wickett at second, Nolan Macabro, so same lineup as yesterday there. But Joshua Magne behind the plate getting his first IBL start.
Jordan Gallo for the Royals. Runner on, nobody out. First inning. Rosado's first pitch is fouled back to the screen. Temperature was in the low 30s. Early this afternoon, we had Humidex readings into the low 40s. So it has cooled off a little bit. And there is a chance of some rain coming our way at about 9 o'clock or so, about a 60% chance of showers. So hopefully we'll get this game in at a good time. A foul at home plate. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes to Jordan Gallo. Gallo with a .364 average in 10 games. Swings the bat. Rosado looks in. Here's the pitch. Off speed, and it's fouled back.
You mentioned how well Gallo's been swinging the bat this season. He had a home run in Guelph the first time these two teams played, and that was kind of the difference in the game, the one that it capped off a big 7th inning for the Guelph Royals.
Rosado comes to the set position and deals. Missed outside in the count, 1-2. Middle infield, Brandon Hernandez and Alex Wickett will be ready for anything on the ground. Nobody out, leadoff man aboard for the Royals. Rosado to Gallo. Here it comes. And the count is even, 2-2.
A breaking ball just missed on the outside part of the plate from Rosado.
Rosado really likes to slow the game down. He's in no rush out there on the mound, even on this first inning. Taking his time. He doesn't want to feel rushed out there at all.
Well, it seems like it's at the start of the game, he's slower and then kind of picks up the pace once he builds his confidence a little bit throughout the game. But in a shorter outing, it's probably going to be like this the whole time he's in the game.
2-2 on the way. Fouled off again. A lot of pitchers in this hot, humid weather like to work fairly quickly, so that the defense behind them isn't out there for too long.
Seemed like the heat was more of a factor yesterday, especially being in the sun. This being a night game, it's probably going to cool off fairly quickly.
Yeah, the cloud cover has definitely made it more comfortable than it was yesterday afternoon. We are a few hours later than yesterday's game as well. Here's the pitch, and it's inside. The count is full. Rosado wanted an appeal, but on the check swing, they did appeal. And Michelle quickly put the palms down. So it's a 3-2 count.
Well, tough call there from Michelle where he's standing. He's between first and second base. Usually you want to appeal down to third base if you have the advantage to do so, but Michelle's positioning with two base umpires.
Yeah, Rosado kind of motioned to third for the appeal, but there was no umpire there. 3-2 the count. Here's the pitch on the way. Called strike 3. Gallo was sure he had ball 4. That pitch looked to be down in the zone, and Rosado gets a gratuitous strikeout with 1 on and 1 out here in the first inning. That's strikeout for IMP North.
Well, you alluded to it earlier how we've seen with Ryan Jackson, the home plate umpire, before pitcher's strike zone. You can already tell Jordan Gallo really not happy with that call, and there's still being words from the Guelph dugout.
On a 3-2 pitch, I wouldn't be happy with that call either. Rosado, the beneficiary of a generous strike zone, at least in that at-bat. And here comes Andy Leader now. LaRue, the lead at first. Nolan Macabrota holding him on. Here's the pitch. Outside corner for a strike. No score. We're in the top of the first inning. 3rd of 5 matchups between the Royals and Baycats here in 2025. Here's the pitch. Just missed. Up in the zone a little bit.
The home team won both games between these two teams already this year. Most recently a 12-1 beatdown on Thursday in favor of the Baycats.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Rosado deals to Leader. Missed outside. 2-1. It's interesting the metrics that they have available now for umpires at the major league level. I've seen many broadcasts right before the game. They'll tell you the home plate umpire is a pitcher's umpire or a hitter's umpire, and which side of the plate he tends to favor more.
We see those umpire scorecards on X. That's a really nice account. They do a great job.
2-1 from Rosado. Foul back, and it's a 2-2 count. Obviously, we don't have that kind of data in the IBL, but certain umpires can develop a reputation over the years. Jackson seems to be calling the low strike tonight. At least he did on Gallo, and did not call one that was right over the plate, but up a little bit to leader. It's a 2-2 count. Here comes the crowd behind Cesar Rosado. He deals, and it's a sprayed down the line, foul. Probably by about a half a foot down that right field line, and we'll do it again, 2-2.
Leader did a nice job putting bat on ball there. Bit of a high fastball out of the hand of Cesar Rosado, but Leader able to stay with it, goes the other way. Didn't look like it might have jammed him a little bit, didn't quite catch the barrel.
Rosado is averaging 3.5 strikeouts per game this year. Last season he averaged 7, so his strikeout pace is down by exactly 50%.
Well, his walk rate is also down a little bit too. I think that's in favor of, his release point seems a little bit lower throughout the season so far than it was last year.
Here comes the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Another strikeout for IMP North. 2 for Rosado tonight, and 2 away in the first inning.
The first baseman, number 4, Garrett.
Yeah, nice job from Rosado, able to bounce back after the leadoff walk. Something Frank Garces wasn't quite able to do yesterday. Similar situation, leadoff walk to start the ball game, but Rosado's come back really nicely, back-to-back strikeouts.
Now here's Garrett Takamatsu. Breaking ball missed low and in.
Takamatsu came into Thursday's game in a 9-game hit streak and was held to 0 for 4. Has yet to get a hit since before that game. Also went 0 for yesterday.
Dropped his average to 338. Still having an outstanding season. Popped up, shallow right field. And it'll be the second baseman, Alex Wickett. Deep on the grass behind second to take it for the out. So the Royals strand a runner on the top of the first inning. No score here between Guelph and Barrie. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Royals in inning number.
I'm Christy Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
First inning of play is brought to you by Park Place, Barrie's Grand Slam destination for dining, shopping, and fun. See you after the game.
Here come the starting lineups for the Barrie Baycats, and it's under manager Josh Matlow, as usual. Noel McGarry Doyle in center field leading off. It's Brandon Hernandez at the shortstop batting second. Clayton Keys hitting third, and the DH today. Nolan Macabrota, cleanup hitter at first. Tristan Clark, the left fielder, batting fifth. It's Willie Garcia in right, batting sixth. Noah Hall hitting seventh at third. Just one change from yesterday's order. That's the catcher, Joshua Magnay, will make his home debut behind the plate, and Alex Wickett, the number 9 hitter, at second. Noel takes the first pitch for a called strike.
Yeah, it's Edgar Garcia on the mound. He has been arguably the best pitcher for the Guelph Royals this year. A 1.59 ERA, 0-1 record, but 2 starts since coming over has been a real key piece to Dino Romel's lineup. It's a rotation that struggled to have any sort of consistency outside of Jacob Cush, but it looks like the former major leaguer has kind of brought a little bit more consistency and a regular appearance into the rotation.
Yeah, if there's an arm on that Guelph Royals pitching staff that can bring this Baycat 6-game win streak to a halt, this just may be the guy right here. Garcia with that minuscule 1.20 ERA. McGarry Doyle swings and misses. The throw down is in time, one away.
Let's give you the defense for the Guelph Royals. Behind Edgar Garcia in the outfield, from left to right, Ashton Patterson, Andy Leader, Ethan Hammond. Same starting three we saw on Thursday night. Infield, still more of the same except for the second baseman. Let's start at third. Carson Burns gets the start at third. Brandon LaRue at short. Jordan Gallo at second. Garrett Takamatsu at first. And it's Anderson Fenwick behind the plate.
Brandon Hernandez has a .281 average coming into tonight's ball game. Taking all the way, and the pitch is down. 1-0. Brandon's brother, Francisco, joined this ball club here in 2025. He's been in and out of the lineup with injuries. 1-0 pitch. Popped up. Left side. Ashton Patterson will call for it, take a couple steps over, and take it for the out, 2 down.
Hernandez, the only hitter in the Baycats lineup yesterday that didn't have a hit. Before that, he was on a rather lengthy hit streak, but still felt like he was struggling quite a bit.
Clayton Keys, the DH now, hitting .296. Seventh game in 9 days for the Baycats. A stretch that started on Saturday last week here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. They have won 6 in a row. Garcia to Keys. Swing and a miss. Sparse crowd here tonight at Athletic Kulture Stadium compared to yesterday's game. It is a Sunday night and kind of a rarity on the Baycats schedule, a makeup game between these clubs that was washed out on a Thursday night back at the start of the season. Pretty quiet crowd too, except for a few people.
Yeah, haven't had a Sunday night game here in a couple years. That was also a makeup game. That was against the Hamilton Cardinals. If I recall that night too, it's kind of a similar situation, more of a sparse crowd. You know, it's one of those games that you've said before, it's not really on the fridge magnet, so people won't really know unless they're keeping up with the socials or something.
A high fly ball, left center field. And it'll be, again, Ashton Patterson in front of Andy Leader to take it for the third out of the inning. Baycats quiet in the bottom of the first. No score between Guelph and Barrie. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. No score, Royals and Baycats as we head to the top of the second. Let's check in with Matty Gale, who had a chance to chat with Baycat rookie catcher Joshua Magnay.
First IBL start, tell me how you're feeling.
Good, man. I mean, emotions are high. First IBL start, you know. Got some work in London, and then here, 2 innings. I mean, excited. That's it.
Have you been doing anything to kind of prepare, knowing that you're starting tonight?
A lot of hydration for the heat, and honestly, just meditation. Just a lot of breathing, a lot of keeping my emotions down.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maddie. Appreciate that report. Ethan Hammond up for the Royals to lead off the top of the second inning. Pitch down in the dirt. Ball one from Cesar Rosado.
Yeah, Magny's had a couple of appearances already this year, but this being his first start. First appearance was actually kind of a defensive replacement in London, but he also had an at-bat against the Royals on Thursday night.
Popped up. Left side of the infield. Hull called off by Hernandez. One away in the second. 4 straight retired by Rosado after the walk to LaRue. Anderson Fenwick will come to the plate for the first time.
Catcher number 13, Anderson Fenwick.
This game originally scheduled for Thursday, May 22nd. It's the only game that the Baycats have had to reschedule so far.
And they've been really lucky in that sense, not only this year, but last year as well.
Yeah, the weather's been pretty good. It's been hot and cold, but we've stayed dry for the most part.
Yeah, it's just the kind of the timing has been really helpful for the Baycats. I remember in 23 there was a lot of thunderstorms on Thursday night that kind of ravaged the season.
And that one hit him on the leg above the knee. Fenwick is aboard, second base runner for the Royals. You can even see the yellowing of the infield grass, indicative of the lack of rain that we've had in recent weeks.
We know it's interesting. So earlier in the season, there was a large rainfall in this area. So if you notice the areas around the mound and the home plate area, it kind of looks like the grounds crew has resodded, kind of the ring around the park. That's because they had to wash out so much of that excess water outside the edge of the turf. But outside of that, there hasn't really been a significant rainfall.
Yeah, the rain we've had has all kind of come in bunches. Carson Burns, the former Baycat, will bat with a man on and one out here in the second inning.
He had a hit here on Thursday night.
Fenwick to lead at first. Rosado deals. That one almost hit Burns. And it's a 2-0 count. Royals still looking for their first hit. They have 2 base runners. That grass can get really yellow and crispy and crunchy by August if we don't get a good rainfall or two in June or July. 2-0 pitch on the ground to second. To short for one. Relay to first in plenty of time. A 4-6-3 double play gets the Baycats off the field. We played an inning and a half. We are still scoreless here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie. Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Barrie Baycats, Guelph Royals on this Sunday night at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Barrie looking for their 7th straight win.
At bat for the Baycats, first baseman number 20.
Royals snapped their 4-game losing skid with a win yesterday. And Nolan Macabrota will lead it off for Barrie here in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
So many hot hitters in this Barrie Baycats lineup. This might be the hottest of them all. Nolan Macabrota, the longest hit streak of all of them. 13 games. He's gone 23 for 51 in that stretch.
Having a career year for sure. 353 average, 3 homers, 20 RBIs. Couldn't ask for anything more from him.
Tristan Clark, who's on deck, 4 RBIs yesterday. You know, he's really creeping up on him for the team lead. Macabrota led the team in RBI last year.
Pitch is a called strike. Macabrota thought it was in.
I wonder, and I think you might agree with me here, I think Macabrota might be able to do the home run derby this year.
Oh, for sure.
Last year he couldn't do it. He was battling an oblique injury during the All-Star break.
We've seen him hit some monster shots.
When he was in the WCBL, he won a home run derby in that league.
Home Run Derby and All-Star Game will be played in Hamilton this year at Arnold Anderson Stadium. Swing and a miss. 2-2 the count.
Bernie Arbor.
What did I say?
Arnold Anderson.
Oh, that's Brantford, of course. Bernie Arbor Memorial. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tristan Clark on deck, the left fielder. Here's Garcia's pitch. Called strike 3. Another one on that inside part of the plate, and Macabrota didn't seem too surprised by the call. He got caught taking. 2 strikeouts for Garcia today.
He's let off both innings with strikeouts, Garcia has. And that's a big one, too. You don't want to have men on base with Tristan Clark coming to the dish the way he's been hitting lately.
So Garcia with now 15 strikeouts on the season, 7 walks. Here's Tristan Clark. He scored the game-winning run on a walk-off single by Baycat rookie Alex Wickett yesterday afternoon against the London Majors. This Baycat lineup has just been firing on all cylinders over this 9-day stretch. I'm sure this team will appreciate the 4 days off that they'll get, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but when you're as hot as you are, sometimes you like to just keep that momentum rolling right along.
Yeah, you got to wonder how that long break's going to affect the production of this team. First game back will be in Brantford.
Called strike 3 to Tristan Clark. 3 straight strikes. 2 go down looking to Edgar Garcia, and now it's Willie Garcia.
Number 4, Willie Garcia.
Well, certainly they need the break. 7-9 is not typical. Of course, this rescheduled game stretched it out a little bit longer than it otherwise would have been.
Well, Guelph also coming to the end of a very similar stretch here, so they're going to need the break as much as the Baycats do.
So Willie Garcia will face his surname namesake, Edgar Garcia.
Both former major leaguers.
No relation that we're aware of. I've mentioned a couple times Willie Garcia, part of the first ever all-Garcia outfield in Major League Baseball, with Avisail Garcia and Larry Garcia. 3 Garcias. 1-1 pitch on the way, and it's outside and in the dirt.
We've mentioned with the White Sox, Willie Garcia in 2017, Edgar Garcia, parts of 3 seasons in the majors with the Phillies, Rays, Reds, and Twins. 52 appearances, 2-1 record in the majors, 1 save, an ERA of 7.74.
2-1 pitch, swing and a miss.
He was actually teammates in the Winter League with Frank Garces.
No kidding.
In the Dominican Republic this past offseason.
Yeah, Frank's played a lot of ball in the Dominican, of course. Edgar to Willie, the 2-2. Up the middle to short. Easy play for Brendo LaRue. And the Baycats go 3 up, 3 down, and 6 up, 6 down in the first 2 innings here tonight. No score, Royals and Baycats as we head to the third. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats!
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp. See you this summer!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
That second inning of play was brought to you by JC Unlimited Contracting, design, supply, build, renovate, servicing Simcoe region for over a decade.
Still looking for our first hit of this ball game. Baycats Royals scoreless, top of the third inning. Ben Davy, Julius Hern, and Matty Gale with you. Sunday Night Baseball. Good to have you along with us. Hopefully you're staying cool and hydrated as you unwind and wrap up this weekend with some baseball. Cesar Rosado back out for his third inning of work. We were told it will likely be a short outing for him tonight. This one's fouled off to the left. Pitcher Edgar Garcia to face him here.
Rosado, 2 strikeouts and a walk, but he's able to keep the pitch count minimal, or 2 walks, pardon me. That double play was a huge part of it to end the second inning, so Josh Matlow maybe stretching him out for a third inning of work, but that looks like that might be it after that. But I haven't seen Ethan Morris throwing in the pen yet.
Hit weakly to third. To Hopper for Hull. Running throw. It's low and scooped up by Nolan Macabrota in time for the out.
Nicely done there by Noah Hull. Just the way that his defense has improved at third base from the time he got to the Baycats last year to now has been very impressive. That was a tough play. He almost looked like he nearly had to barehand that, but made an off-balance throw on 1 foot. Garcia, the pitcher, runs pretty well down that first base line.
And Garcia rolling right along here. He got the 4-6-3 double play to get out of the second, and now 1 out to lead off the third. Showing bunt is Patterson down the line, and they're going to let it go, and it's a foul ball. Well, you can thank the grounds crew for that. That had just enough rotation on it to spin foul right before the third base bag. There was no way they were going to get Patterson.
Noah Hull had a situation similar to that yesterday. Tried to leave a bunt down the third baseline foul and actually got by him and into left field, turned into a double. That one much easier to tell in between the start of the turf and that third base line.
Patterson quick, right back in the box again. I thought he might need a moment. He was sprinting down that first base line.
Well, now Hull expecting it a little bit more, playing it a bit further in on third base.
0-1 pitch from Rosado. It's inside. It'll be interesting to see if Rosado gets a 3-up, 3-down third, if Josh Matlow will have a second thought about his hard line of taking Rosado out early or just leave him in until he gets in trouble.
Well, judging by the lack of action in the bullpen right now, haven't seen Ethan Morris, the lefty, throw yet, still sitting on that bench out there. But I wonder if Cesar Rosado went in to his manager, hey, I think I can go further than we thought today.
Certainly a possibility. That one hit him. It's the second hit batter of the game. So 3 base runners for the Royals, 2 hit batters and 1 walk. They still don't have a hit off Rosado, but Rosado has had base runners to deal with every inning.
The shortstop, number 5, Brando.
So that's not helping his pitch count any.
Well, his last time out regular season, Cesar Rosado against the Guelph Royals was here. Keep in mind, regular season. That was the game he went 6 hitless innings and was taken out after 90 pitches. And in that game, in the dugout, when Adam Kahn came in relief, he looked at the scoreboard.
There's a ground ball. Picked up by Hernandez. Great throw. It's just a little bit off the line. What an effort by Brandon Hernandez to come up with that and make a Tony Fernandez-style play. Ended up being more of a rainbow throw to first base. LaRue able to beat that one out. So first hit of the game for the Royals.
But in that outing, Ben, as I was alluding to, in that outing, Rosado was taken out of the game. He's at the top step on the railing of the dugout. He looks at the scoreboard, and he realizes he hadn't given up a hit. He didn't know in that outing through the first 6 innings that he didn't allow a hit yet because he had so many walks. He was dealing with base runners all outing.
It gives you an idea how zoned in these pitchers are. So the Royals with 1 hit now, 2 runners aboard, 1 out, and a chance to get on the board with Jordan Gallo at the plate.
Makes me wonder if that inning or that outing earlier in London, Frank Garces, he was through 7 perfect. I wonder if he even knew.
It'd be interesting to ask him. Rosado finds the plate for a strike there, 1-1. Gallo struck out looking with one for the first out of the first inning. Here's the pitch. Inside corner for a strike.
Gallo didn't like that call either. It looked like Magne had a bit of framing work to do, and he ended up getting the call.
Anything that's close, that's low or inside, seems to be going in the pitcher's favor this afternoon. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the crowd behind Cesar Rosado. Takes a look at the runner. Now he deals. And he just got a piece to stay alive.
Really nice movement on that. Looked like a slider of the hand of Rosado. Went on the inside of Jordan Gallo. Just managed to get a piece out of it. That was a lot of late movement.
Ashton Patterson has 2 steals. Brando LaRue has 5. Hernandez sneaking in behind Patterson here, trying to keep him honest. Rosado comes home. It's in the dirt. Good job by Gallo to lay off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They are shifted around slightly to the right. Hernandez right now pretty much dead even with the base runner Patterson. Kind of adjusting as he does, and now time is called. And Gallo steps back in. Rosado with 2 strikeouts, make it 3. A foul tip into the glove. That's brought to you by IMP North.
Second time Gallo's gone down on strikes today. 3rd strikeout of the game so far for Rosado.
Center fielder, number 11, Andy Leader.
Andy Leader, the other strikeout victim, comes to the plate here. First pitch from Rosado is a called strike.
Joshua Magne was telling me earlier today that he's only really caught Rosado in bullpens today. He hasn't caught him 100% until the first inning of this game, so he wasn't sure how it was going to be, but it looks like he's receiving the ball very well.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Leader chasing one well off the plate, 0-2. Wonder if that generous strike zone by Ryan Jackson has Andy Leader thinking just a little too much. He chased one well off the plate there. No balls, 2 strikes.
Hitters were patient on Thursday. Looks like they kind of got to get out of that rhythm in this ball game.
Rosado deals. Bounces up to the plate. Gets away for a magnate. And the runners will advance. So 2 in scoring position now in a 1-2 count. And you're right, it was Ryan Jackson calling balls and strikes on Thursday. So second time this week that these teams have seen this home plate umpire. Jared Merkley, who's at first base, called balls and strikes here yesterday against London. Patterson at third, LaRue at second. 2 out, 1-2 the count. Cesar Rosado looks in, kicks and delivers. Called strike 3. 4 strikeouts for Cesar Rosado through 3 innings, and the Royals strand a pair. We go to the bottom of the third, still scoreless between Guelph and Barrie. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game, hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game.
Third inning of play is brought to you by Render 3D Quick, the #1 architectural 3D rendering company in Canada, working with thousands of builders, developers, architects, and more.
Barrie Baycats still looking to solve Edgar Garcia as we head to the bottom of the third inning. It'll be the bottom third of the order. Noah Hull, Josh Magnay, and Alex Wickett. 7, 8, 9, 6 straight retired by Garcia coming into this third inning. First pitch to Hull is fouled over the screen to the left side. Well, we've got a special guest upstairs in the broadcast booth with us for the bottom of the third inning. Barrie Baycat, Ryan Rio.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Good to have you. And what a start to the season you had. Must have been feeling pretty good through the first month or so of the season, and everything just really seemed to be going your way at the plate.
Yeah, 100%. I was seeing the ball well, and just I was feeling like Ryan Rio circa 2023, so it was good.
So for those who don't know your situation, maybe kind of explain for some who don't know why you're not in the lineup.
Yeah, so it started the game here against Welland when we came back, and before the game I was just feeling real sick, and I was throwing up for like 40 minutes straight before the game, and just something wasn't feeling right. And initially I thought it was the St. Louis that we had the night before, but continued into Sunday, and then on Monday I started having this chest pain, and I legitimately thought I was having a heart attack.
High fly ball, right field. Hammond takes a couple of steps towards the track. It'll hang up there for him, and he takes it for the first out of the inning.
One more push-up, and he would have had that, right?
Went a long way.
But yeah, so I was having that chest pain, and I was like, I'm gonna go get it checked out and see what's up. And they did an ECG scan on me, and it turns out I had myocarditis, which is caused from a virus, whether it's COVID or some kind of stomach flu or something. It just got up into my chest and my heart was fighting it off, and it left it with some inflammation. And it's just like a sprained ankle. It just takes time to heal. So the time frame on that is about 2 to 3 months. So hopefully what we're hoping for is I just got to keep my heart rate down, not get too excited, and if all goes well, hopefully second round of playoffs is the hope.
Pretty hard to watch this team and not get too excited, especially they've won 6 in a row. But
100%.
What have they told you you're allowed to do and you're not allowed to do? Obviously, you're allowed to be here at the park, and we've seen you doing some different things.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just anything that gets my heart rate. I believe what the cardiologist said, we want to keep it below 130, right, 140. So I was like, well, I'm a DH. He's like, well, what happens when you hit a double or you get a score from second? I'm like, fair enough, right? So it's been nice. I coached that game at third base. I've been doing that first base too, and just it's nice to be around the guys. And on that, it was last Saturday. We had a team meeting, and having to tell them it was real emotional, but everyone had my back, and they're doing what they're doing. They said they're going to rally around me and try to get this thing turned around, and they have so far. So it's nice to see.
What have you enjoyed about the different perspectives so far?
It's fun to watch, especially a kid like Wicket. He's coming up the bat here, and like just seeing the younger guys step up, and Audie's been gone to with his wedding and planning, and then his wedding that was on Friday. He hasn't been around much either. So, and all the guys, like typically him and I have been the leaders in the locker room, right? So it's nice to see guys like Mackey, Noel, and Brandon Hernandez step up as a leader, and Willie Garcia too. He's been amazing, and whether they're leading by example or being a little bit of a vocal leader, it's nice to see them step up.
And here is Alex Wicket, the number 9 hitter. He was the hero here yesterday, fouls it off down the left field line, long run for Patterson, and it's just a few feet out of his reach.
Got to imagine, being in that celebration, you got to kind of take it easy a little bit when that walk-off happened. What was going through your mind, knowing that you probably couldn't go 100% all in?
At first, I did go 100%, and I had to remind myself, let's just keep it to a light jog, and then I ended up Frank Garces. He pulled out the cooler, and he looked at me, and he dumped it right on me. And I'm like, so I ended up getting soaked, and I didn't bring a change of clothes either. So thanks, Frank.
We've been in a heat warning here for 2 or 3 days, and this one is lined to left center field. It's got a long way to go, and it bounces off the warning track and against the wall. Patterson picks it up. Here's the throw in, and that is a double for Alex Wicket.
Wicket for
He has been on an absolute tear.
7-game hit streak now for Wicket. That's his 3rd double. Man, he's really earning his spot in the lineup at second base, whether it's Francisco Hernandez injured or not. He's cemented his spot in the IBL.
So I mentioned the heat warning and how you're not the only one who's had to take extra precautions with intense weather like this, especially anybody who has an intense cardio regimen or anything that's getting the heart rate up. You have to be extra careful when it's this hot and this humid that you're not going to extreme levels with your workout routines.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like I've had to change that. I can't go to the gym anymore. That's a big part of the everyday thing too, right? So the only thing I'm allowed to do, he said, is golf. So get my rounds in.
And coach, you've been coaching at third.
Yeah.
So
that's it. But
waving lots of runners in.
Yeah. So I've been a little aggressive.
I've watched you take BP the last few days. How has that changed for you?
Just less swings between rounds. Like I'm not doing the standard 8 to 10, keeping it at 4 or 5. It's just still want to feel a part of it, and I mean it's the same as golf. I'm not getting the heart rate up too much, but it's still nice to take some BP.
We're chatting with Baycat DH Ryan Rio. Had a .448 average through 8 games prior to the injury that we've been talking to him about here. Swing and a miss by Noel McGarry-Doyle. That is the 3rd strike. Ryan, thanks so much for joining us, and congratulations in advance on your upcoming wedding. Some really exciting times are ahead for you, so thank you for joining us, and good luck to you in your recovery. We hope to see you back on the field again real soon.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Baycats and Royals scoreless. We played 3 here on Rogers TV Barrie and Baycats TV YouTube. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run. Fourth inning, Baycats and Royals are scoreless. Let's check in with Maddie Gale, who had a visit earlier with Baycat rookie Alex Wickett.
Obviously a big couple games for you recently. Yesterday included getting the win. Tell me how you're feeling.
I'm feeling really good. Yeah, it's been a really great experience so far. I'm having a lot of fun with the guys, and it's really keeping baseball so fun. And that's what we're playing for. So.
You were talking about yesterday the celebration after and how you weren't really expecting it, didn't know what to expect. Now that you've slept on it, how do you feel about that?
I mean, it was super fun. Like, how else do you want those things to go, right?
Yeah.
I watched the video. I think I did everything properly, so
Perfect.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Ground ball to short, and an easy play for Brandon Hernandez, one away. Thank you, Maddie. And Julius, I absolutely loved your interview with, or I guess it was the media scrum after the game where Alex was just saying over and over again, I've never done that before. I've never done that before. He seemed like he was in far more shock than any of us that he delivered the game-winning RBI here last night.
Well, Josh Matlow was also saying after the game, like, if he wasn't going to be him to deliver that hit, who was? You know, so they all the faith in the world from the players and coaching staff are in Alex Wickett. It just seems like he's really settling into the moment still. Being at this level of baseball. You know, a guy that's played junior college, still pretty young. He's only 20 years old. This is the highest level of ball that he's played in his career so far. So to be able to have this level of success early on is something that he's still trying to acclimate himself to, but he's done it great.
And at some point, Francisco Hernandez will return to this lineup, and that's going to make a very interesting situation for the Baycats to decide what to do at second base. You can't take Alex Wickett out of the lineup as long as he continues to hit the way that he has been.
I was actually having this conversation with Brad Grieveson and Chris Lazar today, pregame, and they didn't know either. Because if you look around the infield, you know, you got to keep Brandon Hernandez there. We all know what he can do, but his glove has been fantastic as of late at short, and that's what you need in the lineup. Noah Hall has had a fantastic hitting streak as of late. There's really nowhere to kind of take anyone out. It's really hard.
And even if Alex Wickett can play other positions besides second base, you almost just don't want to disrupt that rhythm. He's there. He's feeling comfortable. You know, it would be a tough situation for the Baycats to try to move him somewhere else just to get Francisco back in the lineup. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Surplus of riches if you're Josh Matlow. It's a good problem to have.
This one hit high and deep to right field. Going back, Garcia at the wall, reaches up, and he makes the catch. Deepest fly ball we've seen hit tonight, or closest to the fence at least, and that is the second out of the inning. Off the bat of Ethan Hammond.
Ethan Hammond had a swing earlier in that bat where it looked like he kind of buckled his knees a little bit. It looked really awkward. Looked like he might have hurt himself, but it didn't seem like he was, phased by it at all. But coming back with a swing like that, nearly putting one out of the yard, very impressive off of Cesar Rosado.
Francisco Hernandez, by the way, was hitting .353 through his 13 games. And this one on a rope to right field. It's a base hit. Second hit of the game for the Royals to keep the inning going. Still quiet in the Barrie bullpen. Rosado will face former teammate Carson Burns. Burns joined the Royals right before the playoffs last season.
Anderson Fenwick just got that base hit. He hasn't had a hit at home this year. He's 0 for 5, but he's had all his hits on the road this year.
You had some very interesting data on yesterday's broadcast about the home versus road differential and how on many occasions it has been in inverse to what you would normally expect, not only for players but for teams.
Yeah, the IBL itself actually posted on their socials how teams have struggled across the board at home this year. It hasn't really been as much of an advantage as you think it'd be. I believe they posted on Thursday, the league, and what I gathered from it was every team had at that point had played at least 9 games at home and lost at least 4.
Conventional thinking is the opposite. Home cooking, and not having to travel to the game if you're a local player, and seems to be the opposite in a lot of cases this season.
Well, Barrie, for Barrie itself, this stretch recently, with how well they've been hitting yesterday and Thursday, they've surpassed their road average now with their home average. As a team, they're batting .305 at home. So for the Baycats, it's working out.
This one on the ground and off the glove of Wicket, recovers nicely, makes the throw. It's in time for the out. Baycats get off the field on a sensational play by rookie second baseman Alex Wicket. Still scoreless here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie. Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Fourth inning of play is brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge, redefining gentlemen one community at a time.
Baycats Royals scoreless as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Brandon Hernandez steps up to lead it off for Barrie. They have just one hit so far off Edgar Garcia. Quite a pitching matchup tonight between Rosado and Garcia so far.
Well, the question about Rosado was how long could he go? The plan was only really to have him go 2, maybe 3, but he's surpassed that already with 4 shutout innings.
And the bullpen has been quiet. Both bullpens quiet at the moment.
So now it leads me to believe more so, and I mentioned this earlier, that Rosado has to feel like he's fine to go like it's a regular start. I had the inclination yesterday that Ethan Morris might be the starter today, but it turns out that Rosado is good to go. Isn't going to be that kind of opener situation, so it's a game that Josh Matlin and the Baycats need from Cesar Rosado to stay in this one. It's been tight.
1-0 the count. Fouls that one back. Well, we mentioned the IBL All-Star Game coming up in Hamilton, the Home Run Derby as well. Something else interesting that I just noticed on social media. I know you follow the IBL on Instagram and Twitter as well, and they were mentioning the mascot dance battle. And that'll be something to keep your eye on. Round 1 starts Tuesday at noon. And appeal at third, he did not go. Hernandez holds up, count is 2-1. So I'm not sure how this is going to work. Are these like actual videos of the mascots doing some sort of routine or something like that, and
I
you
guess
get a chance to vote on them?
I couldn't quite decipher it either. I'm sure there's going to be polls on social media.
Of course, we're partial to Cool Cat here in Barrie. This one to right center field. Drops for a base hit. It'll go all the way to the wall. McGarry Doyle thinking Hernandez, thinking 2 all the way. He's in there with a double. Baycats get the leadoff man aboard here in the 4th.
A much-needed double there for Brandon Hernandez, the only Baycat in the lineup yesterday that didn't have a hit. He really wanted to get in on the offensive party. So for that to be kind of the one that breaks him back out of a kind of a mini slump, although he was on a hit streak, he was hitting under 300 in that hit streak. So feeling like he was struggling personally, but he's still been a key contributor to this team, and that's a surely needed leadoff double for Barrie.
So IBL 1919 is the Instagram page for the league, the Intercounty Baseball League. Follow them on Instagram, and I'm sure you'll be seeing those mascot videos soon. The one that they had in the promo of Cool Cat was him doing some pretty impressive moves. It looked like it was at the media event that we did preseason at the Sandbox. And I'd have to think he's a contender for sure. Do you have a favorite mascot aside from our own?
I love mascots.
The Hamilton Cardinal, which is more of an angry bird, I think, is a pretty tough-looking mascot. I like him.
I am partial to Jacques, the Welland Jackfish. He's always really fun.
So Jacques, the French of Jack.
Jacques Fish.
This is Clayton Keys. 1-1 count. Pitch is high and away. Chatham-Kent Barnstormers have a mascot as well. A couple of them are kind of like teddy bear mascots.
Yeah, London has a new mascot this year. His name's Forrest for the Forest City.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a lumberjack. I've had a few really nice interactions with Forrest the first couple times I've been to Labatt Park this year. So, I think that's the Forrest-Jacques matchup I think everyone's looking forward to.
2-1 pitch. Called strike. Inside part of the plate. Keys not happy. 2-2 the count. Kitchener Panthers had a name their mascot contest. I don't know if they came up with a winner yet, but they were looking for names for their Panther.
The Baycats are in Kitchener next weekend, so I hope we'll know by then.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second, nobody out. Garcia. Called strike 3. 5 strikeouts for Edgar Garcia. Keys is very slow heading back to the dugout.
Keys has had his own personal issues with some umpires throughout his time since he was signed by the Baycats. He even got ejected in the first inning in the game in Hamilton last weekend, a week prior to today. So, it's something that I know that he's been personally upset about this year, despite the offensive success he's been having.
Well, he was upset at the umpire, then he went over to the dugout and shook hands with a fan right in front of the Barrie dugout. So
he knows how to separate.
Yeah, he's not in that bad of a mood. Nolan Macabrota for the Baycats. 1 on, 1 out. Barrie and Guelph scoreless. Pitch from Garcia. Outside, ball 1. A lot of room to the right of second baseman Jordan Gallo if Macabrota can find a spot just to the right of second base. Here's the pitch. High fly ball. Shallow left center, and it'll be the left fielder coming over, Ashton Patterson. Hernandez will hold up. 2 away.
So as we were talking about earlier, Edgar Garcia, former Major League pitcher, took a look at his splits, left-right platoon splits when he was in the major leagues. And it looks like lefties hit him much better. 289 average in his time in the majors with just 17 strikeouts. Righties, 268, 41 strikeouts. So much more successful against righties during his time in the major leagues a few years ago.
Tristan Clark 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Takes a pitch inside from Edgar Garcia.
Rings true again in the IBL. Garcia, 152 opponents average against righties, 214 against lefties.
Garcia kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Tristan Clark couldn't hold up on that one. 1-1 the count. It's so quiet in this park tonight. I feel like I could holler down to the Baycat bullpen and they would hear me. What a difference from yesterday's crowd.
So different.
And it's actually slightly more comfortable tonight. Runner goes, pitches in the dirt, no play for Fenwick. Up to third goes Hernandez.
Great jump by Brandon Hernandez. Looked like he would have had that stolen even if the pitch wasn't in the dirt.
Yesterday the heat was just so oppressively uncomfortable. Another hot one here today, but at least we're under some cloud cover.
Yeah, and looks like from reports I saw this morning, the heat warning will end at some point tonight before the work week starts.
2-1 pitch. Checked his swing, or did he? Yes, he did. Hard to understand or explain why these Sunday night games have just never been a draw here in Barrie in terms of numbers. I've always thought it just makes sense to wait out the traffic, on Highway 400 and just, rather than rush home at the end of the weekend, wait it out. Taking a ball game and then head home 9:30, 10 o'clock when traffic is light.
Even on the way to the ballpark for me today, passing by the 400 southbound it looked like it was clogged up. So it would have been. It's a smart move for folks if they're coming back from Cottage Country. Even if you're coming back from Collingwood on Highway 26, you're passing by the ballpark anyway. You might as well stop in.
I agree, 100%. Just sounds like a great idea, but it's never really caught on with the fans here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch on the way. Low ball 4. Clark is aboard. Runners in the corners with 2 out.
Gives us another Major League Garcia versus Garcia matchup.
Willie Garcia 0 for 1. First time in this ball game, Garcia has had 2 base runners to deal with. Hernandez at third, Clark at first. It's a first pitch strike, 0-1. This telecast is presented by the authority of the Intercounty Baseball League and the Barrie Baycats Baseball Club, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or retransmission in any form is strictly prohibited. 0-1 pitch. On the ground, foul. Over near the Guelph dugout, it's an 0-2 count. Final game until Friday for the Baycats. Brantford Red Sox, their next opponent. 7:30 game. And then they get Brantford here on Saturday at 4:05. That one fouled away. Runner in motion. Count holds at 0-2.
Yeah, Baycats haven't been to Brantford yet this year. The only road park they haven't played in yet in 2025. And it actually, this Friday and the Friday after that, they'll be in Brantford. And the Red Sox actually moved their game times up this year. I'm not sure if you noticed that, Ben. Last year they were all at 8 o'clock because the sun sets right directly in center field. But they're pushing it a little bit more with a 7:30 start this year.
So that's interesting because I thought the whole reason the game didn't start till 8 was because they wanted to wait till the sun had fully gone down. But pushing it ahead a half an hour, wouldn't that just make the problem more of a problem?
It's a puzzling move.
0-2, runner goes again, bounces up to the plate, goes to the backstop. Here comes Hernandez. Barrie scores first. Up to second goes Clark. Brandon Hernandez scampers home for a 1-0 Baycat lead.
Garcia's had a couple of pitches like that in this inning, and that one was the one that cost him. Anderson Fenwick couldn't really get in front of it. Bit too far inside on Willie Garcia, and it cost him a run.
Such a well-pitched game by Garcia and Rosado. How ironic that the game's only run would come that way. Clark at second now with 2 away. Another one in the dirt. That one is blocked. These teams will meet twice more. The Royals are back here on Thursday, July 17th. That's a week from Thursday. So the Baycats seeing an awful lot of the Guelph Royals here in the month of July.
Edgar Garcia hadn't allowed a run in each of his first 8 appearances this year, but in this one and his most previous, he's allowed at least one.
Lifted foul over the trees to the right side. So it's a 1-0 Barrie lead. Each side with 2 hits.
Edgar Garcia won his first 10 2/3 innings of this year without allowing an earned run.
That's an impressive stretch. Willie Garcia with a 2-2 count against him here. The right-hander comes set, kicks, runner deals, and it's a ground ball to second base. Easy play for Jordan Gallo for the 3rd out of the inning. Four innings in the books. The Baycats with the only run of this game, leading 1-0. Julius will call innings 5 and 6 for us when we return. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer! Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run.
The pitcher, number 22, Edgar Garcia.
Yep. 1-0 Baycats went to the 5th inning of play. 2 hits for each side, but it's Barrie in front. Cesar Rosado up for inning number 5. It's still quiet Barrie bullpen, so it's going to be a Cesar Rosado show, at least for the time being, facing his counterpart, pitcher Edgar Garcia, at the dish to lead off. First pitch to Garcia is a called strike. Fastball out of the hand of Rosado.
Well, this close, low-scoring game in Barrie in stark contrast to a couple of blowouts earlier today in the IBL. Hamilton Cardinals exploded for a 15-2 win over the London Majors earlier this afternoon.
London having a tough stretch this week.
And the Welland Jackfish cruised to a 16-8 win over the Brantford Red Sox at Arnold Anderson Stadium this afternoon as well. The only other game on the schedule is in the 9th, and it's a 7-5 lead for the Leafs over the Kitchener Panthers at Jack Couch.
1-1 to Garcia, wave and a miss from the Royals pitcher. He acknowledges that pitch from Rosado. See that little point out to the mound. Garcia only had 2 at-bats coming into this game from his previous start. Went 1 for 1. But he's 0 for 1 in this ballgame so far. Grounded out to third his first time up. Rosado's delivery on a 1-2. Called strike 3, got him looking. That one for IMP North. Another K on the board for Cesar Rosado.
Yeah, I don't see any indications that Cesar Rosado is going to be leaving this game anytime soon. Off the top of the broadcast, we mentioned that our understanding was the plan for him to just kind of open the game with 2 or maybe 3 innings at the most, but he has been handling this Guelph lineup pretty much perfectly.
Second time he's gone through the lineup. This will be the number 9 hitter, Ashton Patterson. Noah Hull playing in at third base against a bunt. The first pitch is low.
Well, he's had base runners to deal with in all 4 innings, but he's gotten the big outs when he's needed them, and the strikeouts as well. 5 in total. Mentioned that he was averaging just a little over 3.5 strikeouts per game this season coming into tonight.
1-0 driven into center field. Noel McGarry Doyle has to go back on it. Gets a beat on it, makes the catch. 2 down.
Haven't seen too many deep fly balls like that hit off of Rosado so far in this game.
Only seen a couple that have approached the warning track, and that's all despite the humidity. We thought it was going to be balls flying out of the yard today due to all the heat and humidity, but it doesn't seem to be the case, at least for now. So back to the top of the order for the Guelph Royals. This is Brando LaRue. He's reached both times. He's been up today against Rosado, a walk and a single. First pitch to him is outside.
LaRue called time before that at-bat began. I think he had something buzzing around his head. And we've had some insects bothering us tonight up here, too. It's that time of year.
I was prepped for it a little bit, knowing it was a night game. I've had it in my mind that could be a theme of the game tonight.
A mosquito fest.
Big cut and miss. Foul tip into the glove from Brando LaRue evens the count. Cesar looks in. It looks like he's improved his pace a little bit through this inning. Here's the 1-1. It's outside. Fastball got away from him.
One thing I've noticed, the Kitchener Panthers, who play games on Sunday nights as well, that's the other team in the IBL that frequently plays on Sunday evenings. Their games start at 5 p.m.
Yeah, the Barrie Baycats will have one like that next week in Kitchener. Only the second time they've played there. Usually it's a 2 o'clock start or a 5 o'clock start at Jack Couch Park. But
I'm just wondering if the 5 p.m. start on a Sunday night might be a little bit more conducive to the fans here in Barrie. But
popped up, it's going to get out of play on the right side. Well, last year the Baycats, when they had the Sunday games here, there weren't many of them, but they were actually starting at 3 o'clock. This one, a 7 o'clock start. I believe the one late in the season, yes it is, the last game of the season for Barrie is a home game against the London Majors, Sunday, August 17th. That is a 4 o'clock start.
Yeah, they play on the Saturday and the Sunday that weekend. And I think they play on the Thursday, too.
Not that week. Just the Saturday against the Hamilton Cardinals, and then the very next day against the Majors.
So 2 home games back-to-back on the Saturday and Sunday.
And they have a long break before that, as of right now.
That is usually intentionally done just for rescheduling any rainouts, any late-season rainouts that haven't been rescheduled. So
the Thursday and Sunday that week are potentially open for home games. We have seen a couple Tuesdays scheduled before in case of a rainout. 3-2 pitch is fouled out of play.
Well, of the fans that are here at the park, there are a lot of kids. A lot of kids. They are on summer break and looking for all kinds of ways to keep busy and stay fun, even on a Sunday night.
3-2 from Rosado, just outside. Brando LaRue works another walk. 2-out base runner for the Royals.
Well, Rosado had retired 7 of 8 prior to that walk to LaRue. Let's see if the Royals can capitalize now with a 2-out base runner here in this 5th inning.
Jordan Gallo has been a strikeout victim each of the first 2 times he's been up against Rosado. So it's been a tough time for him. The first one was looking, the second one was swinging. Rosado looks in, looks at the runner. LaRue 5 steals this year. He goes, the pitch from Rosado. Called strike, the throw down gets away from Hernandez. That'll be a swipe bag for Brando LaRue, his 6th of the year.
Well, a great throw from Joshua Magne. Put that throw right in the perfect spot, and unfortunately Hernandez unable to come up with it and make the tag as it got by him. Good strong throw though by the Baycat rookie catcher. Got it there in plenty of time.
So runner in scoring position now for Gallo with 2 out. Oh, 1 the count. Pitch from Rosado, fouled off. Just got a piece of it off the inside part of the bat.
Hernandez being very careful to keep LaRue honest at second base. Potential tying run aboard. Still early in this ball game, but you don't want to let him get a very big secondary lead.
Time is called by Brando LaRue. Looks like he's got a bunch of dirt in his shoe. Rosado needs a new baseball.
Well, LaRue was dancing around an awful lot out there, certainly kicking up a bunch of dirt.
Jordan Gallo 1 for 4 with an RBI in this exact situation. Runner in scoring position, 2 out on the season.
If LaRue gets a good lead and Gallo can put one in right, the Royals can tie this game.
Yeah, Willie Garcia playing fairly deep out in right field. Gallo does have some power. Pitch to him is in the dirt. Nice block from Magne. Holds LaRue to second base. Only home run this season for Jordan Gallo was against the Barrie Baycats. Hit it off Chris Lazar in the 7th inning of the game in Guelph. Aside from that, he's got only 1 other extra base hit. It's a double. .364 average on the season through 10 games. 1-2 is up and away. Looks like a breaking ball that got away from Rosado.
Yeah, that might have slipped out of his hand. Pitcher's dealing with a lot of moisture in these humid conditions.
Brings it to a 2-2 count. Rosado trying to get out of this inning, the strand a runner in scoring position. Comes set, here's the 2-2. Ground ball to second base. Wicket has to wait on it. Gathers the throw to Macabrona's in time to put out Jordan Gallo. Barrie gets out of a little bit of a jam, leaves a runner in scoring position. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Baycats up 1-0. You're watching Baycats TV.
Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
Bottom of the 5th inning here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. It's brought to you by One-Eyed Jack Barrie. Bring your same-day Baycats tickets before or after a game and get 10% off your bill.
For the Baycats, the third baseman, number 28, Noah Hull.
Julius Hern, Ben Davy along with you. It's a 1-0 ball game in favor of the Barrie Baycats. We are through half of this ball game. Edgar Garcia back out for inning number 5. This being his longest appearance of the season thus far. Previous time was a 4 1/3 inning start against the Kitchener Panthers on Canada Day. He took the loss in that one. Noah Hall to lead it off for Barrie. Bottom third of the order. He fouls off the first pitch from Garcia. As we mentioned earlier, Garcia, former major leaguer, parts of 3 seasons in the majors with 4 different teams. Initially worked out as a shortstop when he was being scouted by the Philadelphia Phillies early on in his career. So that, and also when he was in the National League, hitting for himself in some instances. So that's why he's kind of been a two-way player while he's been a starter for the Guelph Royals this year. Has Noah Hall down 0-2. The pitch is inside.
Garcia really dialing it up with that fastball. It's one of the harder thrown balls we've seen him pitch so far in this game.
Noah Hall, an 8-game hit streak coming into this one, 13 for 34 with 2 homers in that stretch. Had a big solo bomb in yesterday's game. Here's the 1-2. He cuts on and missed. Another strikeout for Edgar Garcia, 1 down.
6th of the game for Garcia. He's rolling right along here. Meanwhile, at Jack Couch Park in Kitchener, Dustin Richardson has come on to close it out for the Leafs. A 9-5 final for Toronto over Kitchener in that ball game this afternoon. So 3 finals in the IBL. That's the lone game remaining.
Joshua Magne looking for his first IBL hit, second at-bat of the ball game, grounded out to second his first time up. Getting the start in favor of Tyler Plumpton, who's caught each of the last 3 days, so giving the veteran a little bit of a break, but also giving the opportunity to the young Joshua Magne. That went all the way to the backstop.
So with the Jackfish beating Brantford 16-8 today, they increased their lead atop the IBL standings. 3 games now over the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers and 3.5 over the London Majors, who lost 15-2 in that Hamilton game.
Yeah, London's lost 4 straight games now, starting with the Canada Day loss at home to Barrie, and also yesterday with the walk-off loss.
And the Baycats are suddenly right in the mix with this 6-game winning streak.
Another one inside on Magne. That one a little bit higher, brushes them back, 3-0.
3 games back of Welland coming into today, and they will hold at 3 back if they can win here tonight. So for Barrie, potentially a tie for second place with Chatham-Kent when you look at the standings over your serial tomorrow.
Magne takes it all the way. It's a called strike, 3-1.
Amazing how quickly you can climb the standings with a hot winning streak like Barrie has had, 7 of 10, 6 in a row here. At one time, 8th in the standings early on in the season.
3-1 pitch, caught on and missed. Big swing from Joshua Magne brings the count full.
Well, Magne just trying to catch up to that fastball from Garcia, who has not lost any velo as this game has gone on. If anything, he's dialed it up.
Spoils that pitch, stays alive in the count.
Guelph Royals tied for 6th coming into action today with Hamilton. And with Hamilton's loss, they'll move a half a game ahead into sole possession of 6th.
Baycats finished the month of June 8-4, and they've won each of their first 4 games in the month of July. 3-2 pitch to Magne. Up and away, cuts on and misses. Back-to-back Ks for Edgar Garcia here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, June was a really impressive month for the Baycats after a slow start. Took a while to get going, but boy, when they got hot, it happened in a hurry.
Yeah, they went 1-5 in the month of May, but really turned it on kind of the latter half of the month of June.
Well, we said on Saturday last weekend that this 7-9 stretch will really go a long way to determining if the Baycats can get themselves back into the pennant chase. And here they are, right in the mix.
Might go as far as to say it might define their season, especially just given that way it started as Alex Wickett takes the first pitch strike. Garcia comes set. Here's the delivery. Spoiled by a wicket. 0-2.
Well, when you look at the run differential, Baycats plus 40 coming into today's action, which is better than London, far better than Chatham-Kent, who are a -4 despite being in second place. All 8 teams well behind the Welland Jackfish with a 101 run differential.
0-2, 2 out to Alex Wickett, the number 9 hitter, up and away from Garcia. Ethan Morris has started to throw in the Barrie bullpen. Not quite off the rubber, still getting a little warm, so it looks like Cesar Rosado might be out for inning number 6. We'll have a look in between innings. But right now it's a 1-2 count to Alex Wickett. The pitch from Garcia is low, 2-2.
Well, if you're Garcia, you just want to keep pounding the strike zone. That's what's been working for him here tonight. Ryan Jackson needs some new baseballs. Baycats have gone 3 up, 3 down twice tonight.
Garcia ready, Wickett ready, 2-2. Cut on and missed again. Edgar Garcia strikes out the side, sitting down the bottom of the Baycats order in the 5th inning, but Barrie still holds a 1-0 lead as we go to the 6th inning. Both teams with 2 hits. We'll see if we can get some more offense going in this ball game on Baycats TV.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run.
Small men with big hearts moving.
Top 6, 1-0 Barrie over the Guelph Royals. Another IBL Finals rematch. 3rd time they've played each other this regular season. Barrie won the first meeting at home on Thursday night between these two, 12-1. This one, much more of a pitching battle. Cesar Rosado back on the mound for his 6th inning of work, extending what we thought was going to be a short outing for him coming into today. Enters with a 1-0 lead. Andy Leader to lead it off for the Guelph Royals. First pitch to Leader is up high.
So I wanted to get your thoughts on this. We were talking about the IBL standings and run differential in the last half inning. Michael Kay of the New York Yankees underscored the fact that the run differential between the Yankees and the Blue Jays was so significant that even though the Blue Jays were only a couple of games behind the Yankees, he said they're, quote, not a first-place team. And then the Blue Jays went on to win 4 in a row at home against the Yankees. Suddenly they were in first place. So my question to you is, can a team be in first place and not be a first-place team?
No.
Mathematically.
It's very interesting, though. Rosado hits leader, chucks the bat towards the Guelph dugout. Obviously frustrated with the pitch. It was a 2-0. So the leadoff man gets on for Guelph.
That is the third batter that Rosado has hit here tonight. Certainly he's not trying to do that, but he's had a couple of them get away from him, and that one right there.
Second time the leadoff man has reached for Guelph, first since the first inning. And this is Garrett Takamatsu, 0 for 2. He's 0 for 6 in Barrie so far this season. First pitch from Rosado, checked his swing, still called a strike.
You often hear baseball fans or analysts comment that a team is better than its record or not as good as its record.
Yesterday or on Thursday, in reference to the Guelph Royals.
We said they were better than their record.
Yeah.
And then others say, no, you are what your record says you are. But Michael Kay was making the point that the Blue Jays, in his opinion, weren't as good as their record, and he based that on run differential. I didn't hear any other evidence or points that he made to say that the Blue Jays defend his argument that the Blue Jays weren't a first-place team.
Are you familiar with the statistic Pythagorean win-loss?
No.
Okay, it's a statistic that tries to estimate what a team's record should be based off their run differential.
Okay, I mean that makes sense.
And there has been many times in MLB history where a team has not finished in first place but had a first-place record if you look at the same division in terms of Pythagorean win-loss. The one that comes to mind for me is 1990 AL East. The Blue Jays, by Pythagorean win-loss that year, would have won the American League East that year, but they finished second to the Boston Red Sox in real life.
And nobody remembered that. Nobody paid any attention to that at all, which is
Probably not.
Irony of it. But I guess it's one metric to look at how good a team was that didn't quite get it done.
Another one recently that comes to mind for me is the Seattle Mariners. There's a deep drive into left field. Garrett Takamatsu, a no-doubter. The former IBL MVP puts his team on top 2-1.
Well, a tough way for Cesar Rosado to surrender his first run of the ball game. Takamatsu got a hold of a cookie, and he does not miss often on those. And suddenly a 1-0 lead has turned into a 2-1 deficit. Josh Matlow out. Likely will ask for the baseball. And Rosado's night will come to a close. Well, he deserved better than a 2-1 deficit tonight. No question about that. He will turn it over to the bullpen.
Would have been in for the win, but instead he leaves on the hook for a loss. Ethan Morris, the left-hander, set to come in. We'll have more on him in just a minute. You're watching Baycats TV. With Ethan Morris coming into the ball game, now's a better time than ever to go to our very own Matty Gill, who had a chat with Ethan Morris yesterday.
Obviously a big couple games for you recently. Yesterday included getting obviously a big couple games for you. Okay, 2 starts so far with the IBL team. How do you feel about your performance so far?
So far, so good. I can't complain. You're always looking for more, always looking to get better. But obviously, I gave the chance both times for the team to win, and I feel like I'm doing good, and yeah, keep it simple.
Getting into mid-season now, how do you feel with your chemistry with the team?
Oh, it's great. No, ever since day one here, I've gelled with the guys. It seems like everyone gets along. No one's left out. You know, everyone's treated equally. Yeah, it's just a great, it's a great team to be on. The atmosphere is amazing. I couldn't ask for better.
The lefty, Ethan Morris, originally thought he was going to be the starter today, but Cesar Rostado getting the nod earlier on. He comes on in relief. His last appearance was against the Guelph Royals, facing them yet again, but this time at home.
Yeah, tons of excitement about this kid, of the Baycats' young pitching prospects. He perhaps may be the one fans are most excited about, and having a left-hander coming into the bullpen in these key innings, certainly a huge asset for manager Josh Matlow.
Well, his first pitch is wild, and that was actually what cost him in Guelph. A couple wild pitches back-to-back, ended up plating 2 runs, and that's what had Josh Matlow pull him in that game. But Morris already this year, only those 2 runs on his record. That one gets away from Magne. So 2-0 count here to start off Ethan Hammond with the bases empty. 2-1 now for the Guelph Royals after a home run by Garrett Takamatsu to put them up.
Sudbury native turned 19 on Canada Day. Looks a lot older than 19 on the mound, though, with his poise and presence.
On the ground to first. Easy play for Nolan Macabrota. Takes it to the bag himself, and that's out number 1 here in the 6th. Morris on the year, 3 appearances, 2 of them starts. Has 1 win to his credit. That was his first start in Kitchener. Has a 1.86 ERA on the year through 9 2/3 innings. Has walked 4, struck out 11.
Josh Matlow telling me he's so impressed early on with the confidence, the maturity, the way he attacks the strike zone, works quickly. Just doesn't seem to get rattled out there on the mound. Pitches like a veteran.
First pitch is another one that gets away from the battery.
Yeah, he's had a couple of wild ones here early in this relief appearance. He'll dust his hand off in the dirt a little bit and try to get a better grip of that baseball.
This is Anderson Fenwick. Has reached both times he's been up today against Cesar Rosado. Noah Hull playing in at third base. Another wild one out of his hand.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here with Morris. He's clearly having some problems, but it's just a grip issue from what I can see. Josh Matlow will come out just to be sure. I didn't notice anything unusual mechanics-wise, but I think he's just having trouble gripping the baseball.
Yeah, very odd situation here. You usually don't see this from any pitcher. But from the perspective of the Baycats, you're happy that he's in the game now doing this as opposed to having runners on. That would have cost him already. You're talking about what Josh Matlow said to you that has impressed Ethan Morris. What I've heard from him, and I totally agree with this, is his game preparation. He's very mature, as you've mentioned. Actually saw him yesterday doing a little bit of yoga on the field, and a little bit more of that today before his expected appearance. His pregame routine is very professional.
Well, you can see him stretching out that left arm just a little bit. So that won't count as a mound visit, being an injury timeout.
So we'll reset here. It's a 2-0 count to Anderson Fenwick, the catcher. Noah Hull still playing in at third base, guarding against the bunt. The pitch from Morris hits him on the back.
Well, Morris has had 3 or 4 pitches in this game that have just not even been close. That the most recent, and his night is done. Josh Matlow has seen enough. He had a right-hander throwing right off the bat.
Yeah, Ramon Henriquez has been throwing in a hurry, trying to get warm in relief. Just hasn't been working for Ethan Morris. He gets one out on a ground out to Ethan Hammond, but leaves a base runner on. as he hits Fenwick, and that'll do it for him. Only gets through a third of an inning in relief as his teammates come out to support him. So we'll have a new pitcher in the ballgame. Ramon Henriquez will come on in relief. We'll have more on him in just a moment. Third pitcher of the ballgame for Barrie when we come back on Baycats TV. Welcome back. New pitcher in the ballgame, third of the inning for Barrie. After Ethan Morris was taken out with what appears to be an injury, this is Ramon Henriquez, right-hander.
Henriquez started the season with the Hamilton Cardinals. Things didn't really work out for him there. 0-2 with an 8.10 ERA. Baycats picked him up. Struggled to get going, but had a really good outing his last appearance.
First pitch to Carson Burns is fouled off.
Has not worked more than 2 innings of relief this season, but pitched very well in the 12-2 win over Guelph.
Had 2 shutout innings in that one. It kind of gave Josh Matlow a bit more confidence in the right-hander. Carson Burns sees another one upstairs, 1-1. Control was the biggest issue for Henriquez during his time in Hamilton. Seems to have calmed that down a little bit his last couple outings. But this one, a really tight turnaround. He got up in a hurry. There's a line drive taken on a hop by Brandon Hernandez. They'll go for 2. The throw into first is in time. Perfectly played by the Baycats shortstop. A double play gets them out of the inning. So Ramon Henriquez comes on, gets 2 outs on only a few pitches, and the Baycats will try to come back with more. 2-1 Guelph. Going into the bottom of the 6th on Baycats TV.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca.
Baycats coming to bat in the bottom of the 6th, now trailing 2-1. And this inning brought to you by Moving.ca. Two small men with big hearts moving, your original Canadian two-men movers. When you think two men, think with big hearts, your Canadian choice.
Julius Hern, Ben Davy along with you. Bottom of the 6th, 2-1 Guelph. Noel McGarry-Doyle to lead it off for Barrie, and he rocks it to straightaway center field. Going back his leader. It is out of here. Third home run in 4 days against the Guelph Royals, and it ties this ball game at 2.
Great to see Noel McGarry-Doyle swinging the hot bat after his return from a brief hiatus with the Frontier League, and man, he is fired up.
Exactly what the Baycats needed to get the energy back up in the dugout to tie ball game now. Both teams 2 runs on 3 hits, and that's got to feel good. A home run off a former major leaguer for Noel McGarry-Doyle. Brandon Hernandez now. Sees the first pitch, fouls it away out of play.
5 home runs on the season now for Noel McGarry-Doyle after hitting just 2 in 13 games last year. So he's really added that power dimension to his game. Always nice to have a leadoff hitter who can hit the long ball as well.
Since coming back from the Frontier League, including today's statistics, 18 for 32 with 4 home runs.
That's as hot as you can get. 3 home runs just this week.
He had 2 in Thursday night's game against the Guelph Royals. Adding another one in this ball game. That's a pop-up from Brandon Hernandez. Jordan Gallo, shallow right field. He makes the catch for out number 1.
Designated hitter number 43, Clayton Keys.
So here comes Clayton Keys, designated hitter today. 0 for 2 with the strikeout. First home run allowed this year by Edgar Garcia. His pitch to Clayton Keys just outside. See Ethan Morris. He's throwing again in the Baycats bullpen along with Katarina Zindaris, a trainer nearby, seeing how he can work out that left arm. Keep an eye on that. Garcia's pitch again outside, 2-0 to Clayton Keys.
Well, we have found out that he has had some reoccurring issues with a bit of a spasm or some tightness in that area right above the, or I guess below the left shoulder.
Yeah, you don't want to mess around with that. Matty Gale came up and gave some information on that in between innings. You don't want to mess around with that. That's kind of close to where your labrum is. Christian Lazar would know all about that. Tore his labrum a couple years ago. It was a long recovery for him. 3-0 to Keys. Called strike. Nolan Macabroda on deck. 3-1, 1 out. Garcia's pitch to Keys. Fouled away, counts full.
Some other interesting news from around the IBL is Damon Toppoli returning to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Back.
He's trying to hit 500 career RBIs. He's currently sitting at 498, so needs just 2 more. Went 0 for 6 today with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts, but apparently almost legged out an infield single.
Could be a big get there for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 3-2 to Keys. Popped up again out of play.
Toppoli will turn 50 this fall. Been in this league for a long time.
Absolutely.
Thought he had retired after the 2022 season. Well, couldn't stay away from the game for too long, I guess.
Well, Jeff McNeil was kind of like that, or McLeod, pardon me, was like that with the Guelph Royals. Took last year off, he's back at age 42, but he's only played a handful of games as Keys strikes out swinging.
Well, Kevin Hinton is another name that comes to mind when I think back to previous eras of Guelph Royals baseball as a guy who played in the league for a long time. I can't recall whether he retired and came back, but he was a player manager for quite a while and played well into his 40s. These guys love to stick around as long as they're healthy and able to play. And obviously, Damon Topley feeling like he has something to contribute to the Maple Leafs this season.
So he's now the oldest player in the IBL, surpassing
49.
Mr. Fernando Rodney.
Yep.
First pitch to Noah Macabroda, waving a miss on an outside pitch.
Now, will he retire after the 500th RBI, or will he stick around to try to help his team in the playoff race?
Now imagine how much of a storybook moment that could be if it's a home run.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. He has tremendous power. I'm sure he can still crush the baseball. They've done a lot of interesting things in Toronto this year to generate fan excitement.
Yep.
And Cito Gaston, former Blue Jays manager, made an appearance at the game a couple of weeks ago, I think. He has joined the Leafs organization in a consultant role.
Obviously, Ayami Sato, a female pitcher from Japan.
Yeah, Baycats saw her on Friday night for the first time.
Willie Garcia, a big home run off of her. That's the long ball has been her biggest issue so far, but she started out the year quite nicely. A couple scoreless innings in her first appearance against Kitchener in that opening day start. 1-2 to Macabroda. That one's on the ground, a bounding ball. Brandon LaRue, nice scoop. The throw on to first is in time to retire the side. But a leadoff home run from Noel McGarry-Doyle has leveled this game at 2. 2-2 between the Guelph Royals and Barrie Baycats. Ben Davy back on the mic for the rest of this one on Baycats TV.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
The seventh inning of play is presented by Cinnamon Beer.
Baycats and Royals in a 2-2 tie here on Sunday Night Baseball at Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater Township. Ben Davy, Julius Hern, and Matty Gale with you as the Baycats wrap up this 7-game, 9-day stretch in the schedule, looking for their 7th straight win. The Royals coming to bat here with pitcher Edgar Garcia pitching and in the lineup as a hitter tonight for the Royals. He's 0 for 2. Ramon Enriquez on in relief of Ethan Morris, who came on for starter Cesar Rosado. Well, if Enriquez keeps pitching the way he has this outing and the one before, and you add him with Braden Pakala, who would get my nod for the turnaround player of the year. He's been outstanding in relief. Suddenly the Baycats bullpen is looking like one of their strengths. That one right off the back of the helmet of Garcia. Fortunately, he's okay. That drilled him square as he turned his head.
4 hit batters today. Already for 4 hit batters already for Baycats pitching today, and that one the scariest of them all.
Yeah, Rosado hit 2, Morris hit 1, and now Garcia hitting 1. None of which have been intentional. Third base ump Don Michelle out to have a little word with Baycat reliever Ramon Enriquez. Garcia's okay. He stays in the game. Here's the number 9 hitter, Ashton Patterson.
Well, the fact that he's staying in the game also means that he'll probably be out to pitch inning number 7 as well.
May as well. He's on an absolute roll right now. And another hit batter. And Enriquez just sort of throws his hands to the side as if to say, I can't even believe I just did that.
Obviously doesn't look intentional. There's got to be something with not only Morris, we talked about maybe the shoulder issues that he's having, but Enriquez, back-to-back pitches there where he just can't get a good grip on the baseball, and it's cost him a couple base runners.
Nobody's trying to hit batters in a tie game in the 7th inning, that's for sure, but something's going on here. 5 hit batters hit Guelph Royals in this game.
And now it looks like Chris Lazar is starting to get up in the Baycats bullpen. He's up in a hurry.
So 2 on for the Royals here in the 7th. Top of the order, Brando LaRue. Macabrota coming in as LaRue thinking about a bunt. The corner's pinching on that pitch by Enriquez.
That one not even close. LaRue, easy look for him to be able to kind of pull back the bunt, but definitely still in play here. Hall and Macabrota, the corners are in.
Enriquez with a 1-0, and that one's bunted to the mound. Enriquez throws to third. It's off the bag and picked up by Hernandez, who went darting over behind Hull to cover.
Macabrota called for that ball, but Enriquez went after it anyway, and not necessarily a smart move. Didn't look like they were going to get Garcia at third. The throw ends up going behind Noah Hall. Luckily, Brandon Hernandez there to back up. Again, another play that could have been absolutely disastrous for the Baycats. Miscommunication between pitcher and third baseman as we're going to get a mound visit from Jeremy Eulenbrook.
Yeah, that was not a good throw by Hernandez to third. Fortunately, Hernandez in the right spot. Hull and Macabrota charging on that bunt, and you're right, that would have been a far easier play for Macabrota to take. Enriquez deciding to take it for himself. So Jeremy Eulenbrook out for a chat with everybody other than Nolan Macabrota. They're all out there on the mound to just sort of talk about what's going on here. The Baycats not doing themselves any favors here. 2 hit batters and a mental miscue. It'll go down as a fielder's choice. An error can't be attributed on that play, really, because it wasn't necessarily a wild throw, but...
Well, Alex Wickett was coming in to cover first base, so the first base would have been an option to get LaRue out there on the force, but instead it's bases loaded, nobody out, and now double barrel action in the Baycats bullpen. Brad Grieveson has joined Chris Lazar.
So the Baycats will use their first of 6 mound visits. Jordan Gallo with a great opportunity here. Nobody out. The bases loaded. The Royals and Baycats tied at 2. First pitch strike from Enriquez. Well, that's what you want to do. Come right back and throw strikes after hitting 2 Royals and then the mental miscue on the previous play. Infielders in. Here's the pitch. Inside. 1-1. Each team with 3 hits. Each team with 2 runs.
It's been a starting pitcher ball game. Obviously, the 2 runs scoring on the Takamatsu home run off of Cesar Rosado.
1-1. On the ground, Macabrota to home. Out there. Back to first. Not in time. So they get the out at home. Enriquez came over to cover the throw. 3-2-1.
First base umpire Jared Merkley calling that with Enriquez coming off the bag with his motion after making the safe call. Looked like the throw beat Gallo. Could have got him.
So the bases are still loaded. Garcia retired 3-2. Patterson to third. LaRue to second. Gallo aboard on the fielder's choice. 1 out in the inning. And the Baycats can get the inning-ending double play here on a ground ball hit to the middle of the infield. Hernandez and Wickett are ready. Double play depth. That's shortstop and second.
Looks like Brandon Dean's the right-hander throwing in the Guelph Royals bullpen. If he comes in, it'll be his first appearance of the season.
Enriquez with a 1-0 pitch. Fastball just outside. They appealed to see if he went, and Leader held up.
And Leader clearly held up. He even kept his bat in the same spot, but the appeal still goes down to first base. This is a huge at-bat here for Henriquez with Garrett Takamatsu on deck.
Biggest challenge of the game for the Baycats with the bases loaded and 1 out. Pitch from Enriquez. Outside again. Maybe a little bit down in the zone too. 3-0 the count. Nowhere to put Andy Leader. He'll likely be taking here.
Yeah, without a doubt, this is a get-me-over pitch situation if there ever was one for Henriquez. It's all still a matter of control.
Needs to find the strike zone on this 3-0 pitch. Here it comes. Outside ball 4, and the Royals take the lead 3-2.
Looked like the exact same pitch out of the hand of Henriquez, a fastball just on the outside. Josh Magne couldn't bring it in quite enough to get the favorable call from home plate umpire Ryan Jackson, and that'll give Guelph the lead, and it puts Garrett Takamatsu in a big RBI situation.
And manager Josh Matlow will let Enriquez face Takamatsu here, probably the most dangerous hitter in this Royals lineup. Still just 1 out in the inning. Guelph now on top 3-2. Takamatsu could give them their biggest lead of the game. One and 0 the count.
Homered his last time up. Responsible for the previous 2 runs in this game for the Royals.
Enriquez needs to find the plate here on this 1-0 pitch. Kicks and deals. And that's high and away. 2-0. 6 straight balls out of the hand of Ramon Enriquez.
Yeah, Takamatsu is going to be taking all the way here. Notice the corners are the only defenders in on the infield for the Baycats. Hernandez and Wickett, shortstop and second base, they've moved back to regular depth.
Left-handed hitting Ethan Hammond is on deck. You'd have to think this is probably Enriquez's last batter of the ball game. Kicks and deals, 2-0, and that one's high. 3 balls, no strikes.
Again, goes right back to the same location with a fastball. Not confident enough to use any of his breaking pitches.
Royals seem confident to just let Enriquez do himself in here. They're not doing him any favors by swinging the bat. 3 balls, no strikes, 1 out. LaRue at third, Gallo at second, Leader at first. Enriquez on the mound, and a 3-0 pitch on the way. The crowd behind him, here's the pitch. That's a called strike.
Just a bit lower than the previous 2, but nearly the same location.
Fans not happy with home plate umpire Ryan Jackson, but it seems like Enriquez has just been nibbling.
Some fans are calling for Jackson to dust off home plate.
He's been missing, but not by much. After a couple hit batters to start this inning. 3-1 the count now. Pitch from Enriquez. Low ball 4. Another run in for the Royals. Out comes Josh Matlow, and Ramon Enriquez's night will likely come to an end here with double barrel action ready in the Baycat bullpen. Back-to-back walks to Leader and Takamatsu.
Takamatsu now with 3 RBI in this game. It was an issue for Henriquez in Chatham-Kent a couple appearances ago. It didn't allow a hit in that outing, but it was the walks that really hurt him. And he ended up being charged with the loss, as we're going to see Chris Lazar come into this one.
Royals on top 4-2 here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Lazar with some work to do, 1 out in the inning. We'll tell you more when we return. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Four runs, 3 hits for the Royals. 2 runs, 3 hits for the Baycats. Chris Lazar has some work to do here to get the Baycats out of this top of the 7th inning, which has been nothing short of a disaster for the Baycats. Ethan Hammond is at the plate.
Lazar's had a rough year to this point, but his last outing was very nice. Comes into this one 10.8 ERA and 0-2 record. He had the loss against Guelph on the road earlier this year.
Hammond fouls it off to the left, and just like that, it's 0-2.
8 1/3 innings for the year for Lazar.
Ramon Hernandez really struggled the last 2 batters, 7 out of 8 balls. A pop-up, it could be playable. Hull is over on the dirt, makes the catch. Runners stay put. Big out for the Baycats, 2 down.
Coming into this outing, Lazar had only had one batter face with the bases loaded, and he allowed an RBI base hit. So that a big out for him right there. Henriquez setting the table, not doing the Baycats any favors.
4-2 the score. Two for the Royals in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. Still just 3 hits in this ball game. Lazar to Fenwick, and that's up high, 2-0. Nowhere to put him. Gallo at 3rd, Leader at 2nd, Takamatsu at 1st. That one down low. It is 3-0.
Fenwick has 1 for 1 this year with the bases loaded. With runners in scoring position and 2 out, 1 for 3 with an RBI.
Called strike, and it's 3-1. Another left-hander on deck, Carson Burns. Pitch from Lazar. High ball 4. Royals lead 5-2.
Third baseman number 7, Carson Burns.
Well, the Baycats have no one to blame but themselves for the way the 7th inning has gone. 3 walks, 2 hit batters. Burns comes to bat, the 9th Royal to hit in this inning.
No hits also. No hits in this inning.
Talk about manufacturing runs. All the Royals needed in this 7th inning was some patience. On the ground to first. Macabroda handles it. The relay to Lazar covering, steps on the bag in time for the 3rd out of the inning. But the damage is done as the Royals break open a lead of 5-2, their largest of this game. Baycats coming to bat at the bottom of the 7th inning. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
Friends from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Baycats coming to bat in the bottom of the 7th inning, trailing by 3, and they will face 25-year-old Brandon Deans.
Brandon Deans' first appearance of the season, 4th year in the IBL. Last year, a 1-1 record in 7 appearances, 2 of those starts, 7.64 ERA. He didn't pitch into July. 17 2/3 innings last year, product of Oakland University in Michigan.
Baycats saw him in the playoffs last year, September 12th. 6-1 Baycat win here in Barrie. Deans worked in an inning of relief that night. 0-1 pitch is a called strike. Tristan Clark, Willie Garcia, Noah Hull will try to respond to a 3-run top half of the 7th for the Royals. Deans deals, bounces up to the plate. Darkness takes over the sky here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Big bright moon over the Royals left field bullpen. It's turned into a very calm, comfortable night. We were told that there could be some shower activity as we head through the mid-evening hours, but so far so good. It has remained overcast for the most part. A swing and a miss by Tristan Clark for a strikeout by Brandon Deans. 1 out here in the 7th.
7th inning of play is brought to you by Sleeman Beer. Real ones know. I'd like to correct myself. Not the first appearance of the season for Deans. This is 8th. He's had 2 starts, 1-1 record, 7.64 ERA in 17 2/3. He does have a save this year on in relief. definitely could be in the cards for him today.
Willie Garcia to the plate.
Very drawn back delivery from Brandon Deans. Noticeably kind of brings that right arm back pretty far.
With the exception of Alex Wickett, the Baycats' bottom half of the order has really struggled at the plate tonight. Well, Wickett is 1 for 2, but Garcia, Hall, and Magne combined 0 for 6. And a strike to Garcia. He's behind in the count here, 1-2. Dean's working very quickly. The windup and the delivery. Garcia hits a fly ball deep left center field. It'll stay in the park. The catch is made by the left fielder, Ashton Patterson.
Third baseman number 28, Noah Hall.
Brandon Deans brings in a pretty wide pitch arsenal for a guy that's mostly a reliever. Yes, he's had a couple starts this year. Fastball, cutter, changeup, slider mix.
Stands 6'4", 230. Mississauga native. Noah Hull here.
One of the most decorated pitchers in OCAA history. Actually pitched a perfect game while he was at Humber.
1-0 pitch. High and away. Baycats are 0 for 5 since the solo homer by Noel McGarry Doyle to lead off the 6th. The Royals pitchers have been mowing through this lineup tonight. Edgar Garcia, an outstanding outing. 6 innings of work. This one hit on the ground and through into left field. A base hit for Noah Hull. So 2 outs for Joshua Magne. He's looking for his first hit with the Baycats.
For Noah Hull, he's been one of the best hitters on this lineup as of late. That'll extend his hit streak to 9 games.
Foul back to the screen by Magne. Hull can play a variety of positions defensively. It'll be interesting to see if third base is sort of where he settles into throughout the second half. 0-1 the count here to Magne.
He's called up on Canada Day, came in defensively for Andrew Johnston.
Taking all the way, and it's low. Alex Wickett, the hot-hitting rookie, is on deck.
Magne was at East Central College, junior college in the United States. Now is committed to Norfolk State, Division I program.
That one in the same spot, low, 2-1.
Magne, a switch hitter, so he provides, similar to what Luis Beltran was set to provide this lineup, switch hitting is a really nice advantage that Josh Matlow will have at his bench.
And Luis Beltran's tenure here was a short one, unfortunately. He just couldn't seem to get it going.
Yeah, he only had 2 hits in his time with the Baycats, both of them home runs. Strikeouts seem to be an issue for him in particular.
And trouble throwing out base runners, too.
Yeah, just 1 for 9.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Bounces up to the plate. Runner stays put. The count is now full.
Let's go.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Baycats down by 3. Two-out single by Noah Hull. He goes. The pitch on the ground, up the middle, into center field. Hull running all the way to third. And that'll put runners at the corners for the Baycats with 2 outs.
Get the baseball in the dugout. First IBL hit for Joshua Magne. Perfect timing for it. A 3-2 pitch with 2 out. Gets Noah Hull 90 feet away from another run on the board for the Baycats.
Yeah, that hit couldn't have come at a better time. if you were to pick your spots, keep this 7th inning alive for arguably the hottest hitter the Baycats have in their lineup right now, second baseman Alex Wickett. He has come through in clutch situations already this week. Takes the first pitch, gets ahead in the count 1-0. These fans who have hunkered down here tonight have been treated to quite a ball game. Edgar Garcia and Cesar Rosado with some outstanding pitching through the first half. Baycats bullpen struggled, allowing Guelph to build a 3-run lead, and now Barrie trying to get it back here in their half of the 7th. 5-2 Royals. It's a 1-1 count to Alex Wickett. Hull at third, Magne at first. Deans with the delivery. Foul back. Caught a piece of the face mask of either Fenwick or Jackson.
Great swing there, a high fastball from Wickett. Dean's relatively fastball heavy, but you're probably not going to see many now in a 2-strike count. Wickett just able to catch a stitch on that one.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Wickett digs in. Deans looks in to the belt. The delivery on the ground to third. The throw from Burns to first is in time. So the Royals avert a potential 7th inning crisis with the Baycats stranding 2 and hang on to their 3-run lead as we head to the 8th. You're watching Baycats TV on YouTube and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Ben Davy, Julius Hern, Matty Gale at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Sunday Night Baseball. We welcome viewers from around the IBL. Maybe some of you were enjoying action elsewhere this afternoon or this evening. All games final, but this one, it is a 5-2 Guelph lead over the Barrie Baycats. Barrie's 6-game win streak in jeopardy again here tonight. It was in jeopardy against London yesterday, and the Baycats pulled it out with a walk-off victory. Offering it the first pitch is Edgar Garcia.
Garcia, the starting pitcher, allowed to stay in for himself. New rule in baseball, the Shohei Ohtani rule a couple years ago.
Shohei Ohtani rule. Love it. On the ground, Nolan Macabrota with a nice backhanded grab. Takes it himself, 1 away. Yeah, that was a situation that, until Shohei Ohtani came into the league was never really an issue.
Left fielder number 50, Ashton Patterson.
Royals batted around in the 7th inning, building a 3-run lead that currently stands 5-2 Guelph. Number 9 hitter Ashton Patterson now. First pitch to him is low.
Chris Lazar, his last walk to Anderson Fenwick in the 7th. That run charged to Ramon Henriquez.
Patterson's been hit twice today. That's a strike, 1-1.
4 hit batters from Baycats pitching today.
That's a season high for sure. Patterson, did he offer at it? No, he did not, says Don Michelle.
Noah Hall was playing shallow at third base. Again, expecting a bunt here from Hammond. Or Patterson, pardon me.
1 ball, 1 strike. And that one just missed from Chris Lazar.
Patterson went 0 for 4 on Thursday night. 0 for 1 today.
That one spins him out of the way, and Patterson is aboard for the 3rd time in this game. Hit twice and a walk. Truly amazing how many base runners the Royals have had tonight, despite managing just 3 hits in this game. Brando LaRue will come to the plate now.
Well, they've left 8 base runners on through the first 7 innings.
LaRue has reached base all 4 times with just 1 single. He has 2 walks. One on, 1 out, 8th inning. Lazar to LaRue. Inside. Count 2-0.
That was just inside. That lefty Lazar came in relatively tight to the righty LaRue. I'm surprised he didn't offer at it. Just looked, the trajectory could have been a good pitch to hit.
The left-hander deals. Just missed outside, 3-0.
You can tell Joshua Magne, the catcher, he did his best to try and bring that ball back into the zone. And
3-0 pitch. Called strike.
Brad Grieveson still warming in the Baycats bullpen. Looks like he could be the 9th inning arm in this game.
Lazar checks the runner, kicks, deals, foul back. Full count now to Brando LaRue. You mentioned Joshua Magne framing pitches behind the plate. Tyler Plumpton has become one of the best catchers in recent Baycat history at doing that. Popped foul out of play. Well out of the reach of Nolan Macabroda. Do you have a favorite MLB catcher in terms of pitch framing?
I'm not sure. It's not something I really focus a whole lot on, but I know if you look at Fangraphs, it has a big effect on catcher WAR.
For me, Jorge Posada, as much as I dislike the Yankees, has always been one of the best pitch framers. Runner goes, but it's ball 4.
I know Alejandro Kirk, he's probably been the best in the league this year.
So another walk, 2 walks here, back-to-back walks, Patterson and LaRue. Staggering number of free base runners that the Baycats have given the Royals here in this game. The win streak, 6 in a row, it's nice. You want it to continue as long as possible, but it's going to come to an end eventually. When it does, you just hope it comes to a team that actually beats you in a good game. And the Royals have done nothing tonight really but be patient.
Something's got to give, and it looks like it's the control of the Baycats bullpen, and in some respect a little bit to Cesar Rosado as well.
I mean, you can go back to the 2-run homer by Garrett Takamatsu and say that's where the Royals beat the Baycats tonight. But other than that, you look at the score sheet, just walks and hit batters. Total at 3 hits in the entire ball game.
Well, even then, the Baycats answered back in the bottom of that 6th inning. Noel McGarry Doyle, a home run of his own to tie the game. It's been those 3 runs off of no hits in the 7th.
It would be a shame if this is how the win streak came to an end, but the Baycats still with 6 outs to work with. Lazar misses on the 1-1, and it's a 2-1 count to Jordan Gallo.
This was the matchup that cost the Baycats dearly in Guelph a couple weeks ago. Jordan Gallo a 3-run homer to right field at David E. Hastings Stadium.
Gallo 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts. Reached on a fielder's choice. 3 balls, 1 strike. It has been a laborious effort for these Baycats relievers tonight. Ethan Morris, Ramon Hernandez, and now Christian Lazar. Runner at second is Patterson. Runner at first is LaRue.
Yeah, Henriquez's control was the most notably costly for the Baycats.
Another walk. Back-to-back-to-back walks. Bases loaded.
Looking more like the 22U Baycats with the way the pitchers are controlling the baseball this evening.
Not even sure I would put them at that level. Another mound visit. Lazar's going to have to work his way out of this one. Still just 1 out in the inning.
10 walks for Baycats pitching today. 14 in total of free bases they've allowed on 4 hit batters.
Well, the Sunday night crowd is held in here, despite a very frustrating evening for the Baycats bullpen. Jeremy Islandbrook has said what he needed to say, and another chance here for Chris Lazar to get out of this inning. Patterson at third, LaRue at second, Gallo at first, Andy Leader at the plate. He can break this one wide open with a swing of the bat. 2 strikeouts, hit by a pitch, and walked.
Corners are in for the Baycats defense. Noah Hall at third, Nolan Macabroda at first base.
Well, this is baseball. It's an odd game sometimes, but occasionally you can get away with simply letting a team beat themselves, and that's really what the Baycats have done so far here in this game. 1-1 pitch. Gets that one for a called strike, 1-2. Lazar has to throw strikes here. Nowhere to put Andy Leader.
Leader 0 for 3 this season with the bases loaded.
Taking all the way.
Looked like a balk.
Balk was called, yeah. So in to score is Patterson. The count now 2-2.
Should be no pitch there. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So it should be a 1-2 count. The other runners advance as well. So LaRue to third, Gallo to second. 1-2 pitch. That misses low and in. So now you do have first base open if you don't want to pitch to Leader. But Takamatsu's on deck. You don't want to face him. So you may as well just throw strikes.
Takamatsu walked with the bases loaded last inning. You got to imagine he's going to be as patient as he was in that plate appearance.
A high fly ball, deep left field, way back. That's a foul ball. I lost sight of that one.
Yeah, some dark clouds have started to come over the horizon, but Andy Leader got all of that pitch very close to staying a fair ball.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Leader looking for another one he can tee off on here, I'm sure. He pops this one up. And a souvenir for a youngster. Asafa Jones standing right there, and he gets a high five from him. That's pretty cool when you pick up a foul ball and you get a high five a player just seconds later. Maybe get an autograph, too, after the game. 2-2 pitch. Another one fouled back. If that one had carried him the right way, I might have been able to backhand that on the way down. It hit the roof, but then it went over.
Didn't have the right spin on it.
I had the pen in my hand, too, so I would have had to drop the pen. And 2-2 pitch. This one hit to left center field, pretty deep, and it'll be caught. No, it drops. Running over was Tristan Clark.
That's a sac fly.
He made the catch?
Yep.
All right. Lost sight of that one. Sac fly. Leader brings in the 7th run for the Royals.
Second RBI for him in as many innings. Also a bases loaded walk in the 7th.
So Patterson in, LaRue in, Gallo to second. 2 out now for Lazar against Garrett Takamatsu.
It looks like they're going to intentionally walk him. Yeah, he gets the free pass. Don't want to face this guy. Takamatsu started the game 0 for 2, but a monster home run in the 6th.
Right fielder number 28, Ethan Hammond.
Want to keep that force play open. Meanwhile, Hammond 0 for 4 tonight.
Lefty-lefty matchup here with 2 outs. Little blooper, shallow left field. It will drop. No! The catch is made by Tristan Clark in left field. What a grab by Tristan Clark. Fooling everybody with an outstanding catch in left. And that is the 3rd out of the inning. Royals up 7-2. We head to the bottom of the 8th. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Thinking about doing a renovation, but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game, hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Barrie Baycats Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game.
Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca.
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
This 8th inning of play is brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
Baycats with 6 outs remaining to score 5 runs or more and hold off the Royals to try to keep the 6-game winning streak intact. Got the right man at the plate here to lead off the inning. Noel McGarry Doyle, first pitch swinging. It's a gapper. That's going to go all the way to the wall. McGarry Doyle will take 2 and hold up. Lead-off double to start the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, last time he was up, he let off the 6th with a home run, so I think he's kind of made himself into that prototypical leadoff hitter as much as possible for the Baycats. Whether it's at the start of the game or the start of an inning, he's been able to come through with some big-time hits.
Well, let's see if the rest of the Baycats lineup can pick up this Baycat bullpen that has really struggled tonight. After a great start by starter Cesar Rosado, the bullpen tonight really fell apart. Royals 2 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. Well, that's the story of the ball game, those 3 innings. Brandon Hernandez is at the plate. Held off, and he works the counts at 2-0. Royals bullpen had been quiet, but now a right-hander throwing.
Looks like Nelson Mercado, 22-year-old from Brampton.
High fly ball, center field. Ranging over to his right and reaching up is Andy Leader. Runner tags. And Noel McGarry-Doyle will advance to third. So Hernandez retired, 1 away. Clayton Keys now will bat for Barrie.
Keys bound to break out here in this ball game. 0 for 3 so far, unlike him so far in his Baycats tenure.
(7-2) Royals. We're in the 8th. Deans to Keys, and it's in tight.
Yeah, Keys extended his hands any further than that. Probably would have got hit on the hands. That would have been scary. Brad Grieveson up again in the Barrie bullpen for the 2nd time, it looks like.
All hands on deck tonight. Final game for this Baycat squad until Friday of this week. 4 off days following this Sunday night matchup. Swing and a miss. Good cut by Keys. Couldn't connect.
Really nice swing, but he was plenty late on it. Not sure if he was expecting a fastball there.
The hot-hitting Nolan Macabrota on deck for the Baycats. 1 out in the inning. Here's the pitch. Goes the other way, and he fouls it over the trees. 2-2 the count.
The Keys late on that one again. Still able to get a piece of it.
Well, it was a small crowd from the outset tonight, but most of them are still here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Outside, and the count is full. Brandon Deans on in relief of Edgar Garcia, who pitched masterfully tonight through 6 innings. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. 2 on for the Baycats with 1 out, and here comes the cleanup man, Nolan Macabrota.
Nice plate appearance there from Clayton Keys. He got down to a 2-strike count, but was able to stay patient. He knew that his pitches were earlier in the at-bat. A couple fastballs that he was a bit late on, swung through. But having that extra base runner on is going to be key for Barrie. Could be a threat to steal as well.
Well, you make a good point. It is a 5-run deficit, but good speed out there with Clayton Keys. Let's see if he goes. First pitch is a called strike to Macabrota. McGarry-Doyle at third, Keys at first, 1 out in the inning. And now Deans will step off.
Keys 2 for 2 since joining the Baycats in stolen base attempts. One of those was in Guelph.
To center field, over the head of the shortstop. That'll bring in a run. It's an RBI single for Nolan Macabrota.
Well, it sounded like he broke his bat on that one, but he gets just enough of it to get it over the head of Brando LaRue, and his center field extends his hit streak to 14 games. 10 RBI in that span as well.
And a mound visit for the Royals.
That's acting manager Donnie Fell coming out. Again, no Dino Ramel for the Royals today.
Right-hander is throwing. Not sure if Fell's going to take the baseball here, though. It looks like he may just have a quick message for his reliever.
Again, that's Nelson Mercado, it looks like, throwing in the Guelph Royals bullpen. Could be the last batter here for Deans.
Ryan Jackson out to say it's Sunday night, move it along. And that'll do it. So, after a quick conference on the mound, Deans will face Tristan Clark. 2 aboard for the Baycats, trailing by 4 now. Potential tying run on deck. Willie Garcia representing that right now. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. The man at the plate is Tristan Clark with 1 out in the inning.
It's been incredible with runners in scoring position this year. Situation the Baycats need him most.
Swing and a miss. Clark giving that one everything he had.
Everybody clap your hands. Come on, y'all.
Clark had family members at the ball game on Thursday here, or Saturday at least. 1-1. Here's the pitch. That's outside. 2-1.
I believe he told me his family was still going to be at the park today. But I haven't seen them in my time at the park this evening.
2-1 the count. Deans to Clark. On the ground, foul.
Breaking ball with some late movement inside on Clark, but he was still able to get a good swing on it just a bit early. Like a hard curveball there from Brandon Deans.
Clark with a strikeout, 2 strikeouts and a walk. Has yet to put a ball in play. 2-2. Left center field, pretty deep. Going back and taking it for the out is Ashton Patterson. Taking it as Keys, the extra 90 feet. So we got Keys at third, Macabroda at first, but 2 out in the inning.
Number 4, Willie Garcia.
Clark 0 for 3 tonight. A couple strikeouts. Garcia also 0 for 3, but he's hit the ball pretty hard.
Garcia, the only Baycat who has not reached base. Be a good time for him to put a ball in play here. 7-3 Royals. Baycats out hitting Guelph 7-4. Now Garcia wants time.
Common characteristic of him, that first pitch, an outside fastball chases.
Deans delivers. Fly ball down the line. Foul.
If that one landed fair, that likely would have scored Macabroda.
Just hooked a little too much down that left field line. That's an 0-2 count now, and Brandon Deans a pitch away from getting out of this inning with minimal damage.
It's a hanging curveball that Garcia saw all the way. Deans surely won't make the same mistake again.
0-2 from Deans. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Baycats strand 2 and score 1. And it's a 7-3 game through 8. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Baycats in the 8th, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 2.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
Baycats and Royals, top of the ninth inning. It's 7-3 Guelph. And the new pitcher for the Barrie Baycats, veteran right-handed reliever Brad Grieveson.
Brad Grieveson, fifth appearance of the season, a 6.35 ERA, and an 0-1 record in 5 2/3 innings. He's only gone 1/3 of an inning in each of his last two outings, allowing 5 hits and 2 earned runs in that span. But before that, a 4-inning save against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers at home. His only save of the season so far.
And it's a first pitch strike to Anderson Fenwick. Fenwick Burns Garcia due up here for the Royals. 1-1 the count. As a broadcaster, I've never been in the habit of buying and giving gifts to players, but I stopped at the Circle K on my way here to the game this afternoon, and I saw a Coke with the name Bradley on it. And I thought, I'm going to see Brad, so I might as well buy him a Coke, right? So I saw him come out of the clubhouse, and I said, "Hey, Brad." I tossed the Coke over the railing here to him, and he looked at it and saw that it said Bradley. And he said, "Ben, the only one who calls me Bradley is my mother." I said, "Ben, I'm sorry." Enjoy it, though. Just don't open it too quickly. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A strikeout for IMP North. 1 down in the ninth.
Third baseman, number 7.
First time Guelph struck out since the beginning of the 5th inning off of Cesar Rosado. Each of the last 3 Baycats relievers had not recorded a strikeout.
Carson Burns now to the plate. Former teammate of Brad Grieveson. These two know each other very well. Looking ahead to the ninth for the Baycats, it'll be the bottom of the order. Hall, Magnay, and Wickett. Grieveson buzzes him inside with one there. Count 2-0. Rosado, Morris, Enriquez, Lazar, and now Grieveson. 5th pitcher for the Baycats tonight. And Burns hits this one to the right center field side, and a running catch.
That's a base hit.
Oh, dropped in front of the center fielder, Noel McGarry Doyle, so he's aboard.
Designated hitter number 22, Edgar Garcia.
First hit of the game for Burns after he hit 4 ground ball outs.
Edgar Garcia 0 for 3, despite an outstanding pitching performance tonight. Struggled at the plate, was hit by a pitch in the 7th inning.
The pitch went right off his helmet out of the hand of Ramon Henriquez.
Hits this one up the middle. Hernandez, nice little backhand flip to second. Wicket steps on the bag. The relay to first, not in time. So they get the force out at second.
Really nice play from Brandon Hernandez behind the bag at second. The toss to Wicket was very risky, kind of a bit of a backhand lob. Wicket looked like he had his foot on the bag, but had to double check himself, make sure he got that forced out to get the lead runner. Might have cost him a few steps from Garcia to get the out at first.
Yeah, he either missed or he wasn't sure and just wanted to make sure that he got that out at second base, so it took him an extra second, as you mentioned. So fielder's choice for Garcia. Burns retired 6-4. Here's number 9 hitter Ashton Patterson. And this one to second. Wicket to short for the force. So the Baycats with 3 outs to keep the win streak intact. They trail 7-3 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats!
Ninth inning of play at Athletic Kulture Stadium, brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
All right, gut check time for this Baycats lineup, and it'll be the bottom third of the order that's called upon here to get it started. Noah Hull, Joshua Magnay, and Alex Wicket. Brandon Dean's out here to try to close it off for the Guelph Royals, up by 4 runs.
Yeah, going for his second save of the season, has the bottom third of the Baycats order in front of him. Noah Hall to lead it off. It looks like Josh Tibbetts is on deck, who will hit for Joshua Magnay. Tibbetts getting his first IBL plate appearance since 2023.
The 6-game win streak has had some unforgettable moments. A come-from-behind win here yesterday against the London Majors. Can they do it again here tonight against the Royals?
Noah Hull way out in front of that swing. Wasn't even particularly close to getting that off-speed pitch from Deans.
Hull 1 for 3 tonight. Pitch from Deans, and it's low, 2-2. As this game reaches the 3-hour mark on a Sunday night here in Barrie. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. A leadoff strikeout for Brandon Deans on Noah Hull, 1 away.
This telecast is presented by the authority of the Intercounty Baseball League and the Barrie Baycats Baseball Club. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or retransmission in any form is strictly prohibited.
You're just joining us and looking at the score, 7-3 Royals, and you're asking yourself, how did that happen? 10 walks, 4 hit batters. And anytime you put 14 base runners on without getting hits, it's pretty hard to win that ball game. Cesar Rosado pitched well, kept the score close. Bullpen unraveled in innings 6 through 8. 7 runs in 3 innings for the Royals over that span, and that's the story of the game.
This is Joshua Tibbetts, pinch hitting for Joshua Magne. First plate appearance since 2023. Hit 154 that year in 26 at-bats through 17 games.
Two-two pitch, swing and a miss. Foul tip into the glove. Strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Brandon Deans. And the final bullet for the Baycats will be Alex Wickett.
4 strikeouts in this relief outing for Brandon Deans.
Well, the rookie showing plenty of swagger, lots of confidence, off to a hot start here in the Baycats. First season with the club, 7 games, and a .414 average coming into tonight. 1 for 3 evening tonight. 1-0 pitch is a little flare over the shortstop into left field for a base hit. So Wickett 2 for 4 tonight, and we're back to the top of the order for Noel McGarry Doyle.
Another multi-hit game for the kid. Proving himself even in a ball game that just feels lost in terms of the energy at the ballpark today.
Yeah, probably about half of the crowd, which was pretty small to begin with tonight, has fizzled away. Here's the first pitch to McGarry Doyle. Inside corner for a strike. After 2 strikeouts, McGarry Doyle hit a big home run to lead off the 6th, doubled and scored in the 8th. Swings right through that high fastball, just got a piece. 0-2 the count now.
You know it's a 2-strike pitch. Wouldn't be surprised to see Wickett going on the pitch. They'll probably give him second base.
And the 6-game win streak is over. But take nothing away from this incredible stretch. 7 games in 9 days. The Baycats winning 6 of 7 and suddenly find themselves right back in the pennant race. Tough one tonight as they lose by a score of 7-3.
Yeah, 7-3, and it was the relief pitching that handed this loss to the Barrie Baycats. A win for the Guelph Royals at 7th inning. 3 runs for Guelph on no hits. You mentioned 14 free passes given to Guelph hitters today. They only mustered 4 hits to the team, but they come away with a 7-3 victory.
Enjoy the off days. The Red Sox will be Barrie's next opponent on Friday night in Brantford, and we are back here on Saturday afternoon at 4:05 as the Baycats will return home here to Athletic Kulture Stadium. For Julius Hern and Matty Gale, I'm Ben Davy. Thanks for watching, and good night from Springwater Township.